welcome to Foxhall Stadium as Ipswich take on Belle Vue Aces in our rearranged playoff semi-final leg 1. Now, we have had a lovely evening here in Ipswich, but it's currently raining. This was a rearranged fixture from Belle Vue because we had that downpour then. So we've had to wait 3 days, and at the moment, we have another downpour. We're hoping that it's calm enough to still be able to go racing. So we've got our fingers crossed at the moment. Good evening then, and welcome to our coverage of the playoffs. It is semi-final 1, leg 1. My notes now are completely wet. I couldn't read my script. It is raining. We thought that we were going to have a lovely, fair evening here in Suffolk, but we're hoping that it's not going to be too troublesome and we will be able to go racing. Let's remind ourselves then of how we got to this position. This is the table at the end of the regular season. It was Belle Vue who topped the charts, followed by Wolverhampton and Sheffield and Ipswich, who got into the playoffs by the skin of their teeth. Leicester missing out. Peterborough ended their season on a high, with Kings Lynn at the bottom of the table. So this is your schedule for the semi-finals over the next few weeks. Ipswich Witches against Belle Vue is obviously tonight, hopefully. The second leg is at the National Speedway Stadium on Monday, where we'll also have continuous reports from Monmouth Green as Wolverhampton Wolves take on Sheffield Tigers. Then on next Thursday, our Camels will be at Sheffield for the return leg. Now joined by Calvin Tatum. We just bring these rain clouds wherever we go around the country.
I can't believe it, can you? Unfortunately, it has been raining for the last 10 or 15 minutes. It's been a fine afternoon when I got here with sunshine, so there's no doubt that the track will be affected to some degree. So fingers crossed that it moves through and we can crack on.
And you're positive there, or confident that we can go racing if it starts to calm down slightly?
Yeah, we need it to ease off. I think that riders won't be particularly encouraged to go racing while it's raining.
Yeah.
But let's hope that it's just a shower, that it moves on, because we need to get some racing on the board, don't we?
We do, we absolutely do. Now, these few days that we've had in delay, unfortunately for the Witches, it still comes too soon for Jason Doyle.
Sure.
We're hoping he's going to be back on Monday, but what impact does his absence have on this team?
Yeah, he's a huge loss for them, because I think mentally as well for the team, he's been such a leader for them, you know, last season and again this year. So I hope that they can actually overcome that. Emil Sayfutdinov, of course, has been a fabulous rider for them this year, so I'm sure he'll be leading from the front. He'll need to. Yeah,
and Belle Vue Aces, they also have their injury woes, and they're without Charles Wright after his nasty accident on his debut at Rochlab as well.
Yeah, that was a shame for Charles, an opportunity for him that went sour, but there's no doubt that the Aces have had the upper hand here this year, so they'll come here full of confidence. They will want to keep it less than 10.
Yes.
I think 6 to 8, I think they'll be more than happy. Likewise for the Witches, they need 10 plus to go into the National Speedway Stadium on Monday night.
Okay,
tough night, big night.
Tough night, and there's extra jeopardy in the air. Well, let's head to Scott Nichols now. He's with the Witches team manager, Ritchie Hawkins.
Ritchie, you have one stroke of luck on one hand with the result at Peterborough getting you boys into the playoffs, and then it's taken away with the injury loss at Jason Doyle. How big an impact is that on you guys?
Well, it's massive. Doyle is irreplaceable. How he's come in the start of last year, and he's the best thing that's probably happened to this club for a long time. So, yeah, missing him's a big loss, but, you know, it is what it is. That's what we deal with. And Bomber coming in, I think conditions tonight should suit Bomber. We know what we're getting with Bomber. He's been here once this year, scored a bag full of points, so another bag full tonight, and we'll be very happy.
I was going to be fair, probably the best replacement you can have. It's a racer's track, and Bomber is like Doyle, an out-and-out racer. When are you expecting Jason to be back?
Hopefully Monday. So I think he's going to have. I think he's riding Sunday, so plan to get him back in for Monday for the away leg. So if we can get a bit of a lead tonight, going into Monday, full team back, yeah, give ourselves a shot.
Well, let's hope you're in with a shot. All the best. Thank you.
Cheers, Scott.
And Chris Harris just over our shoulder now. Before the rain came down, Calv, you said to me these conditions, they're grippy, they could suit Bomber Harris.
I still think they do. I think when it really gets tough out there, then Chris Harris comes to the fore. We've seen that on numerous occasions. He also has got the T-shirt for playoffs. Yeah. He knows what it takes, and there's no better man. So they're big boots to fill, Jason Doyle's, but Chris Harris wouldn't have accepted the booking if he didn't feel he could do the business for him.
Cal, there's a complete air of excitement, complete air of anticipation, but now there's uncertainty. From a rider's perspective, how do you handle this? Because it's playoffs and you don't know if you're going racing.
It's a good question, because as a rider, you cannot allow yourself to switch off at this point. You know, you might not enjoy the fact that it's raining, but until somebody tells you we're not going racing, you have to have the mindset and keep your focus that Heat 1 is about to come up and you need to get on with it. That is vital, otherwise you can switch off and you won't perform very well.
Yeah. Vital for us all. We were undercover as
well. We're on. I do believe we're on air, so we're doing our bit, so they will need to do theirs as long as it does go ahead.
Calvin, thank you. Let's rejoin Scotty now. He's with the captains.
Yeah, thanks. I'm joined by the two captains for the coin toss. I'm going to come to Ipswich captain first, Danny King. Danny, which is a huge loss losing Jason Doyle for tonight, but you boys must be on a bit of a high after securing knockout cup last week.
Yeah, we are for sure. You know, it was a great meeting. We all sort of hit form. Probably first time we've all 7 of us have sort of done it all year, but we're coming off a good run at the end of the league season as well. You know, we had a good run towards the end, and we carried it into the cup final, so we try if we keep that going.
Yeah, you boys are definitely on a good run. Obviously, it's a big blow losing Jason Doyle, but Bomber's an out-and-out racer. How hard, or is it not difficult, to bring a rider in at this stage with the importance of the playoffs coming up?
It's really difficult. Obviously, Jason's pretty much irreplaceable around Foxhall, so it's going to be tough. But as you say, we've got Bomber in, and we all know what he's about, you know, out-and-out racer, and he'll give 110%. So, yeah, you know, we just need to hit the ground running.
Will do. Thanks, Danny. Brady Kurtz, Belle Vue captain. You guys have suffered a blow too with Charles Wright out, so it kind of dampens you a little bit as well. How are you boys going to deal with that tonight?
Yeah, it's never nice to be missing any rider when it comes to the playoffs, and yeah, Charles will definitely be missed, and all we can do is try and chip in, all of us, and yeah, make up for the points lost.
Is it a mental boost knowing that you've psychologically kind of won up these all year and you've got the momentum on your side?
Yeah, we've had a great season, there's no doubt about that. We've been fantastic at home all year and had a lot of away wins, and we've had some great results here as well this year, but it's the playoffs now, and all of that counts for absolutely nothing. It's all about today and Monday, and we'll be giving it our all.
Certainly is. Well, part of that importance is a coin toss. I'm going to get you to call Brady.
Heads.
Brady calls heads, and it comes down tails. So, Danny, are you gate choice in Heat 1 or Heat 15?
We'll go for Heat 1, and we'll take 1 and 3.
Thanks, Danny. Good luck, both of you. So there you go. The Witches opt for Heat 1, Gate 1 and 3. Back to you, Abby.
Scotty, thank you. I've now got an umbrella. Let's head trackside for Calvin's report. Now, Calvin recorded this report before the rain shower came, if I can get my words out.
Foxhall Heath, it's playoff time, and I must say that there's plenty of excitement around, but there has been plenty of rain around in the last couple of days, and there's no question there's been a huge amount of work having to go into this track for this evening. I'm down on the inside, pretty much midway around the first corner, and they've had to put some fresh material on here to try and soak up some of the surface water. It has apparently worked quite nicely. Dirtometer going in a fair amount. You can see there, I've got to say, that moisture has got into the base of the track, but it's pretty much uniform right across here. They haven't worked the track here. I'll show you in just a few moments where they have. Once again, dirtometer going in a decent amount, so plenty of grip from the inside to the middle of the track. If we just pan across here, they've actually staggered the grading on the outside. Right round the safety fence, it's pretty much all the way around the corner. Here in the middle, pretty much from 50% and then 25% as slightly lower down. Make our way across here. You can see where the grading's gone in. It's gone in about 15 sort of millimetres, and again, plenty of dirt here. Incredibly, they did actually put a little bit of moisture on it. But there's no doubt the Aces are in town. They're the champions. They've had the better of the Ipswich Witches so far. Track conditions will be challenging tonight. They could be a little unpredictable, but it's all to race for here this evening. The first leg, plenty of excitement. I expect it to be a cracker.
Let's hope it's a cracker. Good news, the rain has started to ease off, so let's get on with the Riders' Parade and rejoin Kelvin Tatum.
Thank you very much, Abby. Yeah, what a night it is. And, plenty of jeopardy in the air. First rider up here is for the Belle Vue Aces. Coming forward. is the number 8 rider coming forward there. And Connor Bailey coming out for the Belle Vue Aces, who are the reigning champions, of course, and they've had the upper hand here at Foxhall. Blödorn now has been released to ride. He was suspended by the FIM for 3 days, so they're delighted that he's amongst their team this evening. And they're making their way to introduce themselves. There's the young German. He's a terrific rider with a huge future. As I say, he was a little, he just had a moment in the SGP2 round in Voyens at the weekend. Now, Dan Bewley, back in Britain this year, he hasn't had as good a season as he would have liked, but on the night, he can produce the magic, and Dan Bewley is my man to watch tonight. I do sense that it's a night for your big men to come through. Tom Brennan in the main body of the team these days, a young British rider that's beginning to really make his mark, and will need to do that again this evening. Tom, has had a good run of form, and Jaimon Lidsey, talking about a good run of form, he has had a spectacular season, has done a fabulous job for the Belle Vue Aces, and has really cemented his place as the third heat leader, riding at number 3. Really has been in sparkling form. Now there's rider replacement now for Charles Wright, who had a crash in Poland recently, and their top man is Brady Kurtz, who once again has done terrifically well for the Belle Vue Aces. The champions are in town, and they are looking to put plenty of pressure on the home team, and they've got to guess the home team. Down at the Rising Star berth is young Jack Smith, the son of Andy Smith. Jack, of course, is well known to the Belle Vue Colts, in truth, but he guessed for Ipswich here this evening. Keynan, who came so close to winning the SGP2 World Championship last Friday, excuse me. The young Australian down at reserve could be a big player here this evening. The Ipswich Witches, of course, jubilant last week when winning the Knockout Cup final, their first trophy in 25 years. Now, the guest coming in to replace Jason Doyle is Chris Harris, and what a guest that is. He never knows when he's beat. It's a wet out there. The track could be a little bit unpredictable, and Chris Harris is the man for the job. Erik, who's had a difficult season, but of late has got amongst the points and is beginning to find his form again at the back end of the season. So Erik going along nicely now, and that will be a massive confidence boost for him and the team. The captain of the team, of course, is Danny King, another rider that had a slow start to the season, but in recent weeks has looked much more like his old self, and that's been a major reason why they are in the playoffs. Danyon Hume never knows when he's beat, always got a smile on his face, the sort of guy that you want in and around the team, and Danyon will be putting his best foot forward tonight. And of course, he will be riding alongside the main man, and my man to watch for the Ipswich Witches. What a revelation this man has been, Emil Sayfutdinov, back in British Speedway, back in Speedway altogether, and he has been fabulous for the Witches this season. Really has been a joy to see him ride. So there you are, there are the two teams for the first semi-final here at Foxhill Heath this evening. Not too much longer before we get underway with the action. Good crowd in, and for the moment, we will make our way back down to Abbey in the pits.
Calv, thank you. Well, we want you to be a part of the conversation as always. The hashtag tonight is #IpSpell. Okay, so use #IpSpell on X or on Instagram, and any questions or any thoughts or opinions that you've got, I will ask Scott Nichols later on in the programme. Okay, Heat 1 at Foxhall Stadium is coming up. We are with Ritchie Hawkins, team manager of Ipswich Witches. Ritchie, first up, how are you feeling? It's playoff time.
Yeah, good. Obviously, we're a bit depleted, which is a shame, but yeah, it's what we've worked all year to be at. Been on a great run of form. Obviously, the great cup win last week. So, yeah, we want to keep the buzz going that we had here last week.
And it's a great story of how the Witches got here, really. Outside a chance. You had to win all those last meetings. You did it all apart from Wolverhampton, but you picked up the aggregate point there. That story, like you say, a slight dent in the chapter of losing Jason Doyle.
Yeah, look, yeah, brilliant. We won 7 out of 8, and obviously the cup run and everything was terrific. So, yeah, kind of getting the cup last week took a bit of pressure off us because we've got a cup in the bag, and yeah, losing Doyley, but he'll be back hopefully Monday. So on our home track, we should still be able to win. We can ride like we did last week as a team, because I thought we was really good. Same again, hopefully the conditions will suit us. It's been a bit wet out there, so I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough, tricky track, so that should help us. Yeah. And if we can build up a bit of a lead, Doyley back next week, and yeah, we'll be good.
And a tough, tricky track sometimes mean that Chris Bulmer-Harris comes to the party, and that could be good for you guys tonight.
Definitely. Look, I mean, we have it grippy here anyway. I know Bulmer will like that. So, yeah, we think it'll suit him. I think it'll suit him. That's why I was pleased to get him book him in as a guest. And we know how good he can be. He's been here once this year, scored a load of points already. So, same again, and I'll be happy.
Ritchie, it's always interesting when you kind of look around the pits and you see the conversations that are going on. I saw you in what looked like deep conversation with Emil Sayfutdinov. What were you chatting about?
Chatting about lots of things, just his form in Poland, yeah, tonight, talking about next season, and just, yeah, big chat. He's like, Emil's been brilliant. Like, he's coming this year. Last year with Doyley coming in, and I thought, you know, you can't ask for anything more. And he didn't think there was going to be anyone else who could come in, and for Emil to come in and be just as good, just as professional, brilliant to work with. And I think I've got the top two. They're the two perfect speeder riders. They're brilliant for me. Brilliant to have in the team. So to have them two leading the way is like, it's been such a difference to the club. So yeah, obviously, you know, we want to keep that going as long as possible, because you can't ask for anything more.
He has been absolutely sensational, but there's also been something about how loyal you and Chris Louis have been to this squad. It's been such a solid unit, really, from the start of the season, particularly how you've stood by Erik Rissen and he's come good. I think that really speaks volumes as well.
Yeah, look, Erik's, like, he's come in the start of last season. He's had injury problems and obviously had this mystery illness. We didn't know what was going on, but I fully believe in his ability, what I know he can do. I'm looking around, and obviously when he's ill, we're looking around, shall we replace him? And I didn't feel there was anyone there that it'd be a change for change's sake, if such. And I think it was worth waiting for him. Certainly, he's not there. He's not as good as we know he can be. He's not 100%. But, yeah, in the last few weeks, last month, he's really picked up. I think he loves being at the club. I think you can see he's trying. He's so hard. He's put an extra bit of effort in. And, yeah, maybe it's his time now to shine.
Ritchie, I hope the whole team shine tonight. Good luck for you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Excellent stuff. Thanks very much. That's the Tru Mix Witches. Team manager Ritchie Hawkins ahead of heat number 1. So you're just joining us, a change to your programme on the Witches side at number 7, guesting as the rising star of Jack.
Welcome back to Foxhall Stadium. Delighted to say that the rain has stopped, but before we get on with the action, a reminder of the sport coming up on the channel. It includes the Tour of Luxembourg cycling. It's their stage 3 tomorrow. You can catch that on Eurosport 1 at 1:45. Keeping with cycling, you have the Tour of Langkawi, and that's Saturday early morning, 7:20, also Eurosport 1. And the European Championships from Drenthe in the Netherlands, and you can see that Saturday, 12:30, also on Eurosport 1. But here at Foxhall, we are going racing. It's Heat 1. Over to your commentator tonight, Kelvin Tatum.
Thank you very much, Abby. I will inform you that Ipswich Witches won the coin toss and have elected to go with gates 1 and 3 in the opening race. Belle Vue Aces will have the choice in heat number 15. Riders now coming out. There is a change for the opening ride with rider replacement being used by the Belle Vue Aces. Connor Bailey will come in to replace Charles Wright in the opening race of the night. This is when the slate is wiped clean, effectively, all the racing that's gone on prior. What a story it has been for the Ipswich Witches. It was looking so unlikely that they were going to make the playoffs after a disappointing start to the campaign. Leicester going along great guns, and then Peterborough miraculously denying Leicester the chance of racing in the playoffs this year, and as hence the Ipswich Witches are here. No Jason Doyle. And that is a blow to the home team. Chris Harris coming in to guest, and riders just making their way around. Has been a lot of rain here over the last couple of days, so the track possibly slightly different from what they are accustomed to normally. when we've had that 20 minutes or so of rain just before heat number 1. Danyon Hume off the inside in blue, Connor Bailey coming in as rider replacement. Gate number 2 in yellow, Emil Sayfutdinov at gate number 3 in red, and Brady Kurtz in the white helmet colour will go from the outside gate in the opening race of the playoff semi-final. First leg, of course, because the meeting at Belle Vue, the National Speedway Stadium, was postponed till next Monday, so that will be the second leg. On Monday, it will be a double header effectively, with Wolverhampton and Sheffield starting their playoffs as well on the same night. Wolverhampton, the only team that have actually got a solid 1-7 right now, no replacements for them. Sheffield have been injury hit as well. But tonight it's all about the Ipswich Witches up against the Belle Vue Aces, the champions. Will they go through to the final once again? The Witches, who won the knockout cup last week in fine style against the Sheffield Tigers, are on a roll right now. Here we go then. First race of the evening. The lights on. What a start on the inside there. Fabulous start there from Danyon Hume. Here comes Sayfutdinov coming through. Sayfutdinov from nowhere hits the front. Brady Kurtz has come around the outside of Danyon Hume. Danyon Hume with an almost jet-propelled start there. Fantastic from him. Connor Bailey coming on well as well. But no surprise at all to see Emil Sayfutdinov has been in sparkling form throughout the campaign, roaring to the front as they came off the first corner, allowing the bike to run high and wide. Kurtz in second, Danyon Hume back in third, so the heat advantage still is to the home team. Sayfutdinov, who really has set British Speedway alight this season, coming into the last lap now, pulling further and further away. Kurtz did well actually to get the better of Hume down the back straight on the opening lap, swept around the outside, but they've got no answer at all. Sayfutdinov out in front, starts the semi-final off with a win, and the 4-2 to the Ipswich Witches. They'll be delighted with that. Track seemed to ride absolutely impeccably there. I must say, nobody getting in any sorts of problems at all. Some concern about conditions, but right now, that looked pretty good to me. So Emil Sayfutdinov with that stunning move back to the inside. A little bit of dirt about, but that's to be expected with the rain just for 20 minutes prior to racing beginning. Emil Sayfutdinov out in front, 3 points for him. Brady Kurtz, 2 points for him. Danyon Hume hanging on in third place, 1 point for him. And Connor Bailey misses out in the first race of the night. And Scotty, I got to say, Emil Sayfutdinov just so sharp these days, isn't he? Riding out of his skin. Brilliant first corner from him.
Oh, it's absolutely unbelievable. What a ripper of a start from Danyon Hume on the inside. He left them all high and dry, Kelv. I mean, we're focused on Emil and the two superstars on the outside, but Danyon Hume made a brilliant start there. Drifts actually. Emil has a good look for his teammate twice down the back straight, but Danyon Hume just a little bit kind there, probably a little bit unsure about track conditions, allows Brady Kurtz to come around the outside. Ritchie Hawkins looking obviously a good start for the boys there at 4-2. But Emil Sayfutdinov, Kelv, like you say, he's been in sensational form this season.
Indeed he has. He's been a pleasure to watch, and I'm sure from what I'm hearing from the management here, he's been a pleasure to work with. He really has had a smile on his face throughout the campaign. Of course, he had to sit out the previous year, but he's riding again in Poland and for the Ipswich Witches in 2023. Abby's looking down there. It's looking like she may well be able to get some reaction while we have this small delay, because Connor Bailey will have back-to-back races here. So let's get down and get some reaction with Abby now.
Thanks, Calv. Emil, a great start, but it's what we've come accustomed to seeing you doing, and just leading from the front with this team.
Yeah, you know, it's like track is today is like really good, you know, and very consistent, smooth, and I think we can enjoy today. So it's like first leg on semi, and we're ready. Of course, we missed the dolly, but we wish him, you know, it's like quick recovery and back us, you know, as soon as possible. So yeah, so we need to concentrate about today, you know, and then make good points, you know, and then so we fight for the final.
Emil, you came back and just spoke to Erik. What info, what advice were you passing on?
Yeah, we just spoke about it, you know, it's like track, how it's look and how it's setups I have, you know, so it's like that's a normal team atmosphere. And
the rain's okay, it hasn't caused too many problems?
No, just I feel good, you know, and then just a few things I just want to change, and we'll see, you know.
Emil, thank you, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Yep, Emil Old Sayfutdinov doing the business in the opening race of the night and saying the track was riding perfectly. I must say, just on the safe side of the fence up here in the commentary box, it did look like it rode very well indeed, and that will settle the nerves down in the pits with riders waiting for their first rides. Heat number 2, and Keynan is riding for the Ipswich Witches, who had a good run in the SGP2. He just came up short with Matthias Sierniak. It was a dramatic night of Speedway where Matthias Sierniak almost threw it away, but then by the skin of his teeth he actually came through in the end. But nonetheless, the Australian did himself proud there. We are actually on board this evening with Keynan, so hopefully we'll pick up some terrific shots from him. There was a guest for the Ipswich Witches here with Jack Smith. Young Joe Thompson is injured, so Jack Smith, who has actually got a close affiliation with the Belle Vue team, in truth. He has ridden for the Colts on more than one occasion, so Jack Smith picking up some extra meetings. Chris Louis, who's worked hard with his team, very hard to get this meeting on, very much wanted to do that. And we are racing, and that's the good thing. Good crowd in as well. Heat number 2, the lineup for you is Norick Blödorn in white, goes from the inside gate. Keynan out of gate number 2 in red. Connor Bailey for his second consecutive ride out of gate number 3 in yellow, and Jack Smith off the outside in blue. Now, Connor Bailey was not outclassed in the first race, and he has experience now, so he knows exactly what he faces when he drops the clutch this time. A little bit greasy on top, but it didn't catch anybody out. There's enough material out there to sustain the riders and keep them up. Ipswich Witches getting off to a good start here with a 4-2 in the opening race. I reiterate, the Belle Vue Aces have been here twice in the league and have won both times. They come here with an upbeat attitude, even though they are missing Charles Wright. I do believe that they will fancy their chances to keep it very tight. Second race of the evening. Wow, that inside gate with Norick Blödorn. The tapes went up very quickly indeed, and Norick Blödorn fires himself to the front. Keynan coming through in the second place with Jack Smith on the outside. Connor Brady once again relegated to the back, but I tell you what, that was a jet-propelled start, very similar to what Danyon Hume did in the opening race. And the young German who was suspended for 3 days earlier this week, back with a bang here in heat number 2 at Foxhall Heath. Keynan there pushing on in second place, but I've got to say Norick Blödorn has got this all tied up out in front. It's a 3-all at this stage, which will do no harm at all to the home team. But Mark Lemon, the team manager for the Belle Vue Aces, will be pleased with this performance with a lap to go of Blödorn. 1 lap less than that. Oh, red lights are on. And looks like we are missing Jack Smith. And looks like we've had our first faller. Yeah, young Jack Smith there just getting it all wrong there as he went through turns 3 and 4. Hope he's okay. I'm not sure why he happened. Looks like Connor Bailey may have had some sort of issue there. He was just pushing his plug cap pack on. So that race has been awarded. So the winner is Norick Blödorn. Second place will be Keynan. And in third place will be promoted Connor Bailey, I believe. We'll confirm that with the official result graphic for you very shortly, but that's what we understand it will be right now. So 6 points apiece to both teams after 2 heats. So there's the result for us now. So Norick Blödorn, smashing right from him, brilliant start, 3 points for him. Keynan off number 2, he gets 2 points. Connor Bailey then promoted into third place as a consequence of Jack Smith falling off on the final lap. And Scotty, Norick Blödorn, I don't know what's going on about that inside gate, but crikey, they're jet propelled out of there.
Took the words out of my mouth, Kelv. I'm tempted to go and have a little look at that later to see if Erik line's up there in heat 3, see what he does. But I mean, they're both in the first race as well. Danyon Hume, like a full bike length clear, and that's pretty rare. So that gate 1 is pretty special. But Norick Blödorn, you said it on the parade, Kelvin. He's a talented little rider. He rides the track very well. You can see as they're going into the corners there, the track is starting to rut up a little bit on the inside. But just look at that, Kelv. Just highlights how good that inside gate was. Or is it Norick made an absolute ripper again?
I think he dropped the clutch. To be honest, it looked like he actually gambled a bit, Scotty, you know, because he dropped the clutch so good. But Chris Gay, the referee, saw nothing wrong and allowed it to continue. Unfortunate for Jack Smith. They're just slipping on off the bike late on in the race. Keynan coming through in second place. There you see him. He did fall heavily, actually.
Oh, God, yeah, he got a bit too much speed there, Kelv. I mean, if he carried that round the corner, he'd have passed the two in front of him, but he sadly didn't quite make it.
No, he didn't quite pull it off. So let's hope that Jack Smith is okay and he can make the remainder of his rides. But for Norick Blödorn out in front, that was a terrific start for his evening, and just the 2 points between the two sides after a couple of rides. So we can get some reaction while we have this delay for Jack Smith. Let's get down to Abby. She's going to be joined by Norick Blödorn.
Norick, what a blistering start.
Yeah, definitely. Just made the best out of gate 1.
And is it just gate 1 that is working so well, or is that down to the pilot?
I think the tension is pretty high, yeah. I mean, we're in the playoffs, so we're all pretty much on it. We just all want to get it, and just worked out for me this time.
Well done. 6 points apiece at the moment. Continue it, Norick. Good luck. Back to you, Kev.
Thank you, Abby. Yep, smashing start for Norick. I think he was possibly a touch fortunate there, but nonetheless, he rode nice and steadily out in front, and on his return to action, he has done the business. Heat number 3, riders out on track. Danny King and Erik Ritchie out here for the home team. Jaimon Lidsey now. Jaimon Lidsey is an interesting character. He came in last year. The Belle Vue Aces won the league title for the first time in forever. And Matty Zagar was in the part of the team that year, and they lost him. He's not part of the team. They were looking to a rider to step up to replace the points that Matty Zagar was producing. And Jaimon Lidsey has been that man. He has had a fabulous run of form. Started slowly, but after the first month or so, he has been in flying form. Line up for heat number 3. Erik Ritchie will go from the inside with the blue helmet colour. And gate number 2 in white is Jaimon Lidsey. Gate number 3 with the red helmet colour on is Danny King, and Tom Brennan in yellow will go from the outside this time. Can the Belle Vue Aces get their first heat advantage in heat number 3? Gate number 1 has been working extremely well, and Erik Ritchie, I'm sure, will be looking to take full advantage of that now. Great to see that young Erik is back to some sort of form. He was struggling with this virus that he had that affected his eyesight for so long this season. It really was a real puzzle for him to figure out, but the longer the season's gone on, the better he's felt, and his confidence is returning, which is great to see. A terrific performer on his day. Jaimon Lidsey, they're just waiting patiently for his first ride of the evening. Track may just get a little bit greasy. Scotty was just suggesting it may just cut up a bit. Likely to do so, but as the rain stays away, I'd like to think that it will get better and better the longer the night goes on. Here we go then, third race of the evening. 6 points apiece. Here we go, tapes are up, and away they go. Danny King and Erik Ritchie file themselves to the front. Round the outside, in the yellow helmet comes Tom Brennan. Brennan pushing on with Lidsey tailed off. Look at Brennan. Brennan going great guns around the outside of Erik Ritchie. King's in front. Erik Ritchie just about hanging on to second place here at the moment. Brennan committed to that outside run. Does he make it work this time? Yes, he does. Terrific ride from Tom Brennan to come through into second place. King with a great start off of gate number 3. Now coming under pressure from Brennan. Brennan riding really smart line here. Got himself in the right place at the right time. Still, nonetheless, an encouraging race for the Ipswich Witches with a 4-2 on the cards, with Jaimon Lidsey trailing off at the back, really not looking at home at all in these conditions. But Danny King down the back straight for the last time. Got it all under control. Brennan safely through in second place, and King wins in style there. Lovely ride from him. And Erik Ritchie, it looked like a 5-1 in the initial stages, but the determination from Tom Brennan with that roar round the outside proved decisive to steal second place away from Erik Ritchie. But a lovely ride from Danny King, and he'll be pleased with that. So another heat victory, 2 heat victories for the Ipswich Witches in the first 3 rides. A 4-2, so they stretch to a 2-point lead after 3 races. Result then, Danny King 3 points out in front. Tom Brennan coming through in second place, 2 points for him. Erik Ritchie back in third place, 1 point. And Jaimon Lidsey out the back. And Scotty Jaimon Lidsey looked all at sea in his first ride, but Danny King sharp away from the tapes.
Certainly was. Jaimon Lidsey just didn't look like he's attacking a bit. Erik Ritchie still makes off gate 1, but Danny King, when he's got those trapping gloves on, really can make some sensational starts. And he did just that. And Kelv, at this point, they look like they're on a 5-1. But Tom Brennan, who's had a tough year this year, we know what a talent he is, but but he really can't seem to be putting it together. But this race, I'm sure that will give him a lot of confidence because he's attacked the track there. And when the conditions like this, Kel, that's what you have to do. The harder you ride it, the easier it is.
Yep, absolutely right, Scotty. And Tom Brennan, that was an encouraging ride for him. We have got a couple of changes coming up in the next race. In heat number 4, Keynan will come in to replace Jack Smith. And Connor Bailey will be replaced by Norick Blödorn. So the team manager's working overtime already at this point of the evening.
Just reflecting back to heat 1, Kel, sorry just to jump in there. Emil Sayfutdinov rode really, really wide for a couple of laps early doors, which I thought was a bit of a surprise. I thought he could have left himself vulnerable down low.
Yeah, but he had the speed and the confidence to pull that off, didn't he? He did chop back to the inside later on in the race, but certainly he experimented high and wide in the first laps or two, but clearly felt that he could then move back to the inside. But Emil's just in that sort of rich vein of form that he can pretty much ride in a different county and still win races. He really is.
When the confidence is with you, Calvert's with you, and I think he took full advantage of that in that first race. But this man here, Chris Harris, coming out, we know he loves these conditions, but equally Dan Bewley, what a star he is.
Indeed. Good looking match-up for heat number 4. Thanks very much, Scotty, for the moment. Jack Smith is replaced by Keynan here for the home team. And I repeat, Connor Bailey is replaced by Norick Blödorn, who won heat number 2 in fine style. First ride of the night for Chris Harris. Ritchie Hawkins was being interviewed earlier on by Abby. So he's had one visit here this year and had a terrific meeting. And they'll be looking for a double-figure score from him. And if he does that, that will come in very handy indeed. Keynan had a solid second place first time out, looking to improve on that if he can. But Dan Bewley has been a little hit and miss this season back in British Speedway, but has been in terrific form of late, all over the continent. He rides in 3 leagues. He rides in Sweden, Poland, and for the Belle Vue Aces. So doesn't have too many days off at this time of year, with all of his clubs involved in the playoff scene. Heat number 4 then, Keynan off the inside in the blue helmet colour. Norick Blödorn will come from gate number 2 in yellow. Chris Harris, gate number 3 in red, and Dan Bewley off the outside in the white helmet colour. Dan Bewley, as I say, is a very busy man. He's been riding pretty much every day of the week as a consequence of riding in the Polish playoffs, the Swedish playoffs, and the British playoffs here with the Belle Vue Aces this evening. Since the Grand Prix on Saturday night in Voyens, he really hasn't, his feet have hardly touched the ground. He's been here, there and everywhere. So 10 points to 8, just a 2-point lead to the home team. They will want to try and stretch that to 10 points by the end of the evening if they can, going to the National Speedway Stadium on Monday night. Anything less than that, the Belle Vue Aces will be reasonably happy. Here we go then, away we go. Blödorn once again, terrific out of gate number 2. He gets himself to the front, but look who's that man round the outside. Oh, what a move from Keynan up the inside. Harris and Roux come charging through off of the first turn on the opening lap. Harris inspired there. Now Bewley coming through into 3rd place, with Blödorn going from 1st to 4th by the end of the first lap. But Chris Harris doing the business there. Keynan also with a stunning move to get the better of the German on the opening lap. Just what the doctor ordered here for the home team. Inspired riding here. Track still behaving very nicely indeed. Riders still being able to commit to it without too many problems at all. And into the last lap, Harris terrific out in front. Loving it out there. You can see how well he's riding. Keynan also's upped his game here. And they are going to pull off the maximum score in heat number 4. Big 5-1 for the Witches there in heat number 4. Chuffed to bits with that. They move out to a 6-point lead now. And Chris Harris and Keynan combining to pick up the first 5-1 of the evening. And I've got to say, Chris Harris just charging around the outside. And that's exactly what they brought him in for. That sort of commitment, that sort of passion on the bike. Doesn't matter who he's riding for. Even as a guest here this evening, he's going to give his very best. And we saw it there in fine style in heat number 4 from Chris Bomber Harris. 5-1 for the home team. They've got 15 points. So yes, Smashing right from Chris Harris out in front, 3 points for him. Keynan Rue back in second place, 2 points. Dan Bewley back in third place, 1 for him. And Norick Blödorn failing to score in heat number 4. What a smashing ride from Chris Harris, and Keynan Rue coming through in second place, Scotty. Terrific stuff for the home team.
Just what the home team needed, and to be fair, Chris missed the initial jump there, but the bike worked to that first corner. You see he's got his bars down, full action. Chris Harris, look how much room he's got on the outside, and poor old Norick goes from sitting at 1 point in first, he goes back to last and he's second, but what a result for the Witches. Chris Harris comes in here, you can see Chris there, he missed the initial jump, but under a lot of pressure, but the bike just hops that first turn. Dan Bewley there cuts back, can't quite get the moves there, he's stuck in traffic, but obviously the two boys out front go on to a 5-1. Hopefully that can set the boys up for the momentum, but as we're going to be coming into a break very shortly, it gives the Belle Vue boys a chance to regroup, try and get their bike set up and dial themselves in to see if they can overhaul the Witches. And that man there, Chris Harris. Down to you, Abby.
Thank you. Just remember that hashtag is IpsBell. What did you think of that man, Chris Harris's first heat? He's doing the business as a guest for the Witches. Heat 5 coming up here at Foxhall. We are with Mark Lemon, the team manager of Belle Vue Aces, and we just had a little word off camera about levels of excitement. I am excited. How are you feeling?
The anticipation's there, just the nerves are up. You know, it's playoff time. This is what we work for. So if you're not, you know, you're in the wrong game. So we're actually ready for it.
3 days later than planned. Norick Blödorn back, but obviously still without Charles Wright after that nasty accident in Wrocław.
Yeah, sure. I mean, playoffs kind of time hasn't been kind to us over the last couple of years, but we managed to, you know, pull off the right result last year, and obviously we have that challenge again this year. But you know, it's been the same for a couple of other teams. You know, it's a dangerous sport, and you know, injuries happen. So it's just kind of, you know, you got to be pragmatic about these things, and you know, and just obviously wish the boys, you know, all the best and a speedy recovery. But there's still a job to be done. The camp we have here really have got a strong belief. So. You know, they've got some, you know, work to do, and it just means a little bit of an extra challenge.
And how does it change things when, you know, it should have been leg one on your home track and now you're going to go back? Is that a slight advantage to be home for the second leg?
Yes, I would say it would be, but not necessarily when you think about it and how in the past it's panned out. We've had many of first legs in recent times, and it's been okay. So we made the grand finals, and I kind of was expecting that to be the same result. But yeah, it just puts a little bit more pressure on when you're going away, but you know, hopefully you can get a good lead. You know, that's role reversal tonight. So, but I don't think it really matters. You know, at the end of the day, the guys have got to perform. They're very professional. But I guess for the fans, you know, they probably like to see him, you know, cross the line at their home track. So hopefully we'll get to do that Monday.
And Mark, how much do you take on past experience? I know playoffs, it's almost like you wipe the slate clean, but you've come here twice in your league fixtures, and it's been close, but you've won both times.
For me, I'm learning every day in this game. Every curveball is something different. You know, you're a different sort of camp. We have, you know, a lot of the nucleus of our team is very similar to last year, so we've got experience we've gained from that, and you know, you learn from these, you know, these episodes that you know in life that's thrown at you, and playoffs definitely. So. I think there's a calm a nature around us, but we've had some good results here at Ipswich, but that all means nothing tonight. You know, you know, we've seen Ipswich have sort of come to life. You know, the momentum's with them, and they're relishing that. They won the knockout cup, so they're high, they're buzzing, but we're the Belle Vue Aces, so we know what to do, and we've got to do it.
And how much do you look at the other team in terms of, you know, is it all the focus is on your guys and what they've got to do, or do you look and go, okay, Jason Dawes out, this is what we need from certain people?
Look, you need things to go. You need luck in life, don't you, really? And you've got to take every opportunity that's thrown your way and grab it with both hands. And, you know, we obviously lost Charles, so we probably, you know, flipped the coin. We became the underdogs. They've lost Jason. You know, okay, they've got a great replacement in Bomber because, like, he's just a, you know, machine when it comes to playoff time. So you would never underestimate Bomber's, you know, capabilities. So it's probably leveled it out. So it's going to be a really healthy, strong, you know, tight competition, I believe. And, you know, being a betting man, I wouldn't like to put money on this one. So it's all here to play for right now. So we just have to watch unfold. I know we have the experience, and we have I think the guys really want this, and there's two young guys in this team, in Dan Bewley and Jaimon Lidsey, that were being part of Belle Vue before. It was our young brigade that came through that missed out on winning a championship, and I know they want to do it.
Good luck, Mark.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Foxhall Stadium. It is the semi-finals. It is leg one between Ipswich Witches and Belle Vue Aces. And after 4 heats, Witches have a 6-point advantage. The weather is behaving itself, so let's get on with the action and heat 5.
Thank you very much, Abby. I hope you're behaving yourself as well down there. I'm sure you are. We'll just bring you, there's another subtle rule change to the playoffs. There are no tactical substitutes allowed. So even though the Belle Vue Aces are 6 points behind, they cannot make a tactical tonight or any time during the playoffs. They change to the regular league matches that we encounter throughout the year. So heat number 5, riders making their way round now to the start. Danny King, who was a fine ride first time out, he's joined by Erik. We've got a change here as well, because with rider replacement, Charles Wright should be in this race, but he's not, he's injured. Tom Brennan comes in here to replace him, and he had a really good showing in his first ride with a solid second place, so Tom Brennan will be looking to build on that this time. Heat number 5, then Tom Brennan will go from the inside gate with the yellow helmet colour. Danny King, gate number 2 with the red helmet colour, and Brady Kurtz out of gate number 3 in white, and Erik off the outside in blue. 6-point lead, nice lead for the home team. That 5-1 in the previous race, very handy indeed. They'll want to hang on to that if at all possible. It's all about now the Belle Vue Aces beginning to really make their presence felt. They've had a couple of rides where, let's say, Jaimon, Lidsey and Dan Bewley didn't look quite at their best, but maybe a little set-up change and we'll see the best of them to come. But a good, strong start here by the Witches. The Aces really have had the upper hand here, coming twice in the league, of course, for the A and B fixture. Ritchie Hawkins will be satisfied with the way his team are going about their business so far, but there is a long way to go. We'll only be at the midway point, of course, at the completion of tonight. No superheats either. Even if we have a 45 all, there are no superheats tonight. The superheats come in at the conclusion, if required, at the end of the second leg, which will be on Monday night at the National Speedway Stadium. Here we go then, racing about to get underway again. Heat number 5, tapes up, away we go. Terrific start once again from the Ipswich team, and it's Danny King and Erik around the outside. Fabulous stuff they've got there. Starting gloves on tonight. Danny King, superb there, aware his teammate was there. Look at Erik go, super stuff from him. Brady Kurtz now beginning to wind it on in 3rd place. Kurtz coming on strong in 3rd place, really putting pressure on Danny King, electing to go wide, turning back, trying to get his wheels in line. This time he goes all the way around the outside, and Kurtz now coming on strong, runs wide out of turns 1 and 2, gets it too wide, and that allows Danny King back up into 2nd place. Now can Kurtz do anything about Danny King? Not this time. Erik out in front with less than a lap to go. Could this be another 5-1? It's looking very likely. Down the back straight 2, turns 3 and 4. What a result for the home team. Terrific stuff from them. Erik clearly delighted with that. Delights the home team with it. They pick up 10 points in the last 2 races. What a start to the night. Terrific stuff. And Erik who's had a very difficult time this season, clearly absolutely overjoyed with that. And they've got a 10-point lead now. What a couple of races that is for the Ipswich Witches. They really are flying, and particularly from the tapes, they really have got that nailed in beautifully here this evening. Erik out in front, 3 points for him. Danny King back in 2nd place, 2 points. Brady Kurtz tried awfully hard, but just 1 point for him. And Tom Brennan coming in there, misses out in heat number 5. And Scotty, the Ipswich Witches are on fire here. They're just trapping beautifully tonight.
They certainly are, Kelv, and like you said just before the race there, the rule change, was no tax sub, so Ipswich will be delighted with that. A 10-point lead this early on, and what a start from Erik Briss. You said it earlier, Kelv, he's really struggled with health issues this year, but he got his wheels out front there and romped away for a 5-1. Danny King, we know he likes about high and dry and really out on the outside line, but obviously his teammate Erik Briss was there, and Danny King's really low down that home straight there, which allows Brady Kurtz that run around the outside. You see coming into this third and fourth bend now, he switches lines, goes straight to outside, and Danny King was vulnerable, but luckily Brady Kurtz couldn't quite get the drop on him, and Kelvin. He got moved into that slop on the outside, and it allowed Danny King just to force on and follow Erik home for that 5-1.
Yeah, super ride. Brady Kurtz threw the kitchen sink at Danny King there, but just couldn't quite hang on to it. Just got himself in a little bit of a pickle a couple of times, but what a start this is for the Ipswich Witches. As I say, they've come into the playoffs by the skin of their teeth. It's looking hugely unlikely, but now they're here. They want to make the very best of it. Won the Knockout Cup last week, clearly riding high on confidence. Momentum and confidence at this time of year, hugely important. We've seen it on many a year before. Riders coming out for heat number 6, where we'll see Emil Sayfutdinov for the second time this evening, who was a fabulous winner of heat number 1. I'm accustomed to seeing him out in front all the time. Norick Blödorn coming out here for his 3rd ride this evening. He'll be looking for a little bit better fortune this time. He went from first to last time out in heat number 4. Bewley didn't get away well from gate number 4 last time. This time he comes off gate number 2, so he'll be looking for better luck this time around. So 2 top-class riders here up against Blödorn and Hume as well. Proper speedway here at Foxhall Heath. In the opening leg of semi-final number 1, the young German just coming forward now. Heat number 6 then, Emil Sayfutdinov will go from the inside in red. Gate number 2 in white is Dan Bewley. Gate number 3 in blue is Danyon Hume, and Norick Blödorn off the outside in yellow. Massive moment now for the Belle Vue Aces. They need to bounce back. They need to battle back. If they can keep it under 10 points tonight, I would think they'll be relatively satisfied with that. The confidence at home in the National Speedway Stadium. They will fancy their chances, but there's no question the Ipswich Witches have thrown the gauntlet down with 2 consecutive 5-1s and a 10-point lead after 5 heats. They're almost in dreamland so far this evening. Just got to keep it going now. Ritchie Hawkins, big deep breath for him. Wants to watch his team continue on. Could they do the double? What a year that would be if they could manage to do so. Right, riders now looking settled. Start Marshall. He's happy. He moves away. Chris Gay with his finger on the button. Here we go then. And Emil Sayfutdinov's made a super start. Bewley coming through in 2nd place, right round the inside, but Sayfutdinov holds the lead. Danyon Hume coming through into 3rd place, running very, very wide, and Norick Blödorn, can he get up the inside? It's going to be very tight for 3rd. No, he can't quite. Oh, Hume again, a little bit out of shape on the entrance to turn number 1, but hangs on there. There's a little bit of drama there for 3rd and 4th, but Emil Sayfutdinov out in front, charging away. Dan Bewley much more competitive this time, but he's got no answers to Emil Sayfutdinov, who's got that bike really set up. I mean, this man has never ridden better. He is just riding out of his skin and in the form of his life. Into the last lap, another heat advantage here on the cards for the home team. It's a dream start here as we make our way towards the midway point. Heat number 6, back-to-back heat victories for Sayfutdinov. Bewley coming through in 2nd place. But a comfortable win there for Emil Sayfutdinov out in front. And what a rider he has been in Britain, and that's why he's just got it all sorted out. He's made 2 superb rides there. Made a brilliant move in the first corner in his first ride in heat number 1. That time, heat number 6, he had the inside gate and made no mistake at all. So the result of heat number 6 for you. Emil Sayfutdinov out in front, 3 points for him. Dan Bewley back in 2nd place, 2 points. Danyon Hume back in 3rd, 1 point for him. And Norick Blödorn missing out again there. I tell you what, 12-point lead at this stage, Scott. I would think Ritchie Hawkins and Chris Louis must be pinching themselves because it's going along very smoothly indeed.
I think you could be right, Kelv. It's a fantastic lead for the Witches right now. And look at Emily's bike, just drives, front wheel barely off the ground, just skimming to that first turn. opts and goes straight to that dirt. We said about it earlier that perhaps in Heat 1 was he leaving himself vulnerable, but confidence is an amazing thing, and Emil's got a massive amount of that right now.
Oodles
Just
of it.
Oodles, that's the one, Kel. That's the one I was looking for. But Dan Bewley opts to try and get back up the inside, does everything right, but Emil Sayfutdinov's just got so much speed right now, riding with so much confidence out in that dirt. Just look at the way he attacks the bike. He's so good at carrying so much speed into the corner, Kel, but he doesn't scrub the speed off. He's only a little guy, but rides exceptionally strong on the bike.
He does indeed. He's a strong lad, as you say. He's not particularly tall, but he's a strong lad indeed. And he is riding out of his skin here tonight, doing the business. I fancied that your top men have got to come good, and so far Emil Sayfutdinov is doing just that. He's unbeaten in his 2 rides so far. Belle Vue Aces are going to have to get their top men going. They haven't won a race tonight. Dan Bewley, Brady, Kurtz or Jaimon Lidsey, none of them have been up front, and they need to turn that round. They will not want to see the Ipswich Witches extend that lead even further. They will be very much the underdogs if the lead is more than 10 for Monday evening. And right now it sits on 12, and we've got Chris Harris out again. And what a first race he had. We've got a change here in heat number 7 as well. Keynan is replaced by Jack Smith this time. Jack Smith is just getting off his bike a little awkwardly there, coming into turns 3 and 4 late on in his first ride. There's young Jack, good to see him back on his bike, clearly not too worse for wear. Trying to get amongst the points this time in heat number 7. But more importantly, the Belle Vue Aces have got to bounce back here. Jaimon Lidsey needs to get up to speed. Heat number 7 then, on the inside in the white helmet colour is Jaimon Lidsey. Alongside him in red, in gate number 2 is Chris Harris. Tom Brennan will come out of gate number 3 in yellow, and Jack Smith goes from the outside in the blue helmet colour, replacing Keynan in heat number 7. Massive race. This is important times, even though it's early doors, over 2 legs. 12-point lead to the Ipswich Witches. The champions are under pressure, no question about it. They haven't settled well. The home team have been really sharp away from the tapes, and they have been able to dominate proceedings so far. Just 1-3 all in heat number 2. Apart from that, it's been one-way traffic with 4 2s and 2 5-1s for the Ipswich Witches. Chris Harris just going through his pre-start routine. Jaimon Lidsey on the inside. Tom Brennan had a good ride in his first ride, not so good last time out, but this time can he produce a better ride? Here we go then. Heat number 7. Wow, what a start from Lidsey on the inside. That was more like it from him. Brennan's been squeezed out, but look at Harris! Harris round the outside, stunning move from him. Jack Smith is in trouble at the back. He had a problem coming off turn number 2, but Harris, he is in terrific tip-top form this evening. Jaimon Lidsey with a fantastic initial reaction, but Harris had other ideas. He's out in front, looking terrific. Looks like it's going to be a 3-all here with Tom Brennan back in 3rd place, but Harris doing the business. Big boots to fill, you've got to say, with Jason Doyle on the sidelines right now. All the very best to him. But Chris Harris coming in and doing a fine job so far this evening. We're into the last lap. Harris is enjoying himself. Moving further away. Lidsey looks like he's a bit more comfortable this time. He was tailed off in his first ride, but this man, you just look at that. He was racing in Germany in the World Long Track Championship at the weekend, but he's here in Foxhall tonight, and he, just like Emil Sayfutdinov, wins his first races of the evening. 6 points for him, and another 3 points for the home team, so the 12-point lead remains. And Harris, that stunning move round the outside, you just could see it happening with Lidsey initially sharp away from the tapes. Harris doing the business here. 3 points for him out in front. Jaimon Lidsey back in 2nd place, 2 points. Tom Brennan, 3rd place for him, 1 point. And Jack Smith misses out in heat number 7. Chris Harris, as we expected, Scotty, is doing a fine job here for the Witches. He's revelling in these conditions.
Yeah, we kind of knew he would, Kelvin. He slipped into those boots quite nicely. They're a big set to fill, and he's doing a good job. Again, from the start here, Chris Harris, he doesn't make the best of starts. Jaimon Lidsey, you called it, has a look over his shoulder there, and he didn't opt to go straight to that dirt. He should have known exactly where a bomb will be. We know how much he loves it out in that dirt, high and wide, and he did it. And I've got to be honest, Calv, I'm not sure. I feel like the Belle Vue boys just a bit phased out by the conditions right now.
I agree. They look tentative on track. You can see as they're entering the corners, all of them in truth, they're just not quite attacking the track as well as they might. And they're going to have to change that, aren't they? Because right now, with a 12-point lead, the Ipswich Witches will be more than happy.
100%, Kelvin. They're all coming in just a little bit tense. The track conditions are starting to get a little bit tricky. You see Bomber's bike bouncing around there and skipping around. I appreciate that when you're in front, you've got the beauty of being able to go exactly where you want to go. But things are going to have to change. They're going to have to take the break to do that. Down to you, Abby.
Scotty, thank you. Ritchie, what a start by your team.
Yeah, it's racing condition and we're racing men. So, yeah, Bomber brilliant. Just hopefully he can keep it going for another couple of free rides.
And we knew he was going to be brilliant, particularly with these conditions. But just seeing Erik, we're seeing how much it meant to him when he came through, just gesticulating. There's a real team spirit going on. And it seems to me that you're just handling these conditions much better than Belle Vue.
Yeah, I think we've come through a lot to be here. So I think that's built up the spirit and the fight. And we've got a long way to go still. It's a great start, but we're like a quarter of the way through. So there's a lot of racing to go yet.
Feels like there could be some rain in the air, but let's hope not.
Hopefully that holds off till 10.
Ritchie, thank you. We have got Heat 8 coming up. First half of this meeting, Witches are dominating things. They have a 12-point lead, 27-15. Before we get underway again with the second half of this meeting, a reminder of all the motorsport that's coming your way. It includes MotoGP in their first visit to India, and you can set your alarm early for that, 4:30 for free practice tomorrow on TNT Sports 2. The World Superbikes, round 10, they're in Aragon. You can see that Saturday morning, Eurosport 2, 8:30, and the Motocross World Championships is on Discovery Plus Live Sunday at 1 o'clock. Now, Speedway, we will be at the National Speedway Stadium, but we also have reports from Wolverhampton as they face Sheffield Tigers in semi-final 2. Now, we had a downpour 20 minutes before the meeting started. The track seems to have held out well. Let's see what it's like now with Scotty.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. They've done tremendous work on the track, but I'm just midway around the third and fourth bend now. Tracking it starts to be tricky. I'm just going to highlight there's a couple of little bits starting to rut up. You can see this rut here is starting to rut up. Now, there are a couple of those coming into the corner. Now, if you come into the corner, hit one of those, and that pushes you out into all this deep stuff. Now, we talked about had an awful lot of rain. This is really quite deep and heavy. That will suck the bike up into the fence. Your left leg will get dragged back because your steel shoe's not going to slide along this nicely like it normally would because it is pretty saturated. Also, the other thing is the lights are a long, long way back here, so it's really quite dark. So for the riders to see all these little ruts when you're going at high speed is really quite difficult. To override that is confidence and riding with a lot of energy. I don't think the Belle Vue boys are doing that. I think this is playing into that. The Ipswich boys are rising above it, and that's why they're showing dominant form right now. What do you reckon, Kelf?
I can't disagree with you. I think that just the body language itself suggests that the home team are really up for the job. And the Belle Vue Aces have just got to work their way back into this meeting, if at all possible. They've got time on their side, there's no question about that. They have got off to a tricky start, but they will have to battle their way back. They have the quality, they have the stars to do so. Heat number 8, there are a couple of changes here, with Danyon Hume being replaced by Keynan. Jack Smith holds on to his place this time. Rider replacement is for Charles Wright, with Jaimon Lidsey coming through, and he will ride here instead as rider replacement Jaimon Lidsey. A better ride from Jaimon Lidsey. He needs to just get his nose in front coming out of the first corner after a stunning start, but Chris Harris had other ideas about that in the previous race. Just waiting for riders to come out. Plenty of fans in here enjoying themselves. Youngsters, mums, dads, all in attendance. Been a fabulous time recently for the Witches with winning the Knockout Cup last week. It was a real celebration. Their first trophy. First trophy in 25 years. We're on board with Keynan. We'll keep an eye on for that for some decent footage. There he is on his way out to the track for the heat number 8, the resumption of racing. Midway point then, 12 points in it. Can the Belle Vue Aces battle their way back here? Jaimon Lidsey, who's done a terrific job throughout this year for the Belle Vue Aces, needs to come good in this one. Connor Bailey, who looked like he's been on the pace but has struggled for points so far this evening, just picked up 1 point as a consequence of Jack Smith slipping off his bike, so he needs to get away a little bit better. They have got gates 1 and 3 this time, the Belle Vue Aces. They'll be hoping that that comes good for them right now. It's Keynan just having a good look around on gate number 4. It's a long way from gate number 4 here. We may have to rely on some grip round the outside. We've seen Harris do it on 2 occasions, so it is possible. Mark Lemon will be a little concerned. The Belle Vue Aces, proud team, delighted to have won last year, will be desperate to retain the championship. Heat number 8, the lineup for you. Connor Bailey off the inside in yellow. Jack Smith will come out of gate number 2 in blue. Jaimon Lidsey out of gate number 3 in white, and Keynan will go from the outside in a red helmet colour. Tense times now for the Belle Vue Aces. They won't want this meeting just to run away from them. They'll want to make it a decent task for them on Monday night. Of course, potentially 30 races, possibly more if we have an aggregate score or a draw after 2 meetings. We will then get a superheat. What drama that would be if that were the case. They are very good at home, the Belle Vue Aces, there's no question about that. So the Ipswich Witches will want to just keep their foot flat out tonight, keep piling on the pressure if they can. Riders ready now. Mark Marshall moves away, green light's on, tapes are up, Lidsey's made a good one on the inside, certainly also. Oh, it's a tight first corner there, it's all sorts of going on there. Lidsey coming round there, coming through in blue, is a terrific error from Jack Smith. Lidsey's gone round the outside a bit, harum-scarum there on the opening lap. Got to say, Connor Bailey, after a terrific start, has gone to the back. Shame for him. Lidsey had to really give it his all down the back straight to fire himself to the front. Smith holding on in second place with Keynan Rue now coming under pressure from Connor Bailey round the outside. Bailey's not out of this, with both the Ipswich riders riding very tight. Look at Bailey. Bailey now coming through. He's done a brilliant job to come through into third place. Could it be the first heat advantage of the evening? Out in front, Connor Bailey now, up the inside of Jack Smith. What a ride from him. Can they respond? Yes, Smith has done. Round the outside once again. Lidsey's a country mile out in front. All the action for second, third and fourth. Here now comes Keynan Rue. Oh, it's just about a 4-2 there with Connor Bailey hanging on in third place. Oh, spectacular action. Jaimon Lidsey misses all the fireworks that were going on behind him. Terrific ride from him. He looked like he settled down nicely there in heat number 8. A terrific ride from him. But crikey, there was some chaos going on behind him. I thought for a moment that Keynan Rue was going to be able to get back amongst the points there, but Connor Bailey hangs on, and the Belle Vue Aces, for the first time this evening, pick up a heat advantage. It's a 4-2 to them. And they close the deficit to 10 points at the conclusion of heat number 8. A dramatic race for the minor placings there. Terrific stuff. We'll see the conclusion here with Lidsey comfortably out in front. And here they come through. They're a long way behind. Jack Smith there just hanging on. And for me, Connor Bailey did hang on for third place. Oh, it's tight, you know, it's really tight. I think it is Jack. I think it's just Jack Smith on the outside. It was very tight indeed. We'll wait for confirmation from the referee. It does look and appear to me that Jack Smith just about hang on. So he just about hung on for second place, with Keynan Rue misses out there. So here's the official result for you. So the result is Jaimon Lidsey definitely won the race. He was clear out in front. Looked to me that Jack Smith just about hung on for second place. Connor Bailey back in third place, and Keynan Rue misses out. Here it is for you now, heat number 8. Jaimon Lidsey 3 points, Jack Smith second place 2 points for him, and Connor Bailey back in third 1 point for him, and Keynan Rue missing out. I tell you what, Scotty, Jaimon Lidsey was away and gone. He looked terrific out in front, but what a scrap for second, third and fourth.
Do you know what, it's just I did my little track piece, and Jaimon Lidsey must have been listening, because man live did he attack it. And Jack Smith, fair play to him, he's in a mix there, he's kind of sandwiched between the two aces, and he gives Jaimon a hard run there. And to be fair, earlier doors I'd have thought Jaimon would have backed out of that, but he's muscled his way into that corner. He's caught that little rut that we just picked up on that track piece, and it pushed him to the outside. But full credit to Connor Bailey. He's persevered on the outside here and almost slipped himself between the two witches there to almost get to a 5-1 for the Aces.
Yeah, I thought for a moment a 5-1 was on the cards there, but in the end, Jack Smith just by the skin of his teeth hangs on here. Here's the moment when he's actually got his nose in front here. And Jack Smith, look at that, Scotty, he does well to stay on.
Do you know what? Connor Bailey did him a favour there. I was half expecting Jack to possibly, not whether sure to lay it down there. He sees body language, he's like, oh, do I hold on? Yep, here we go, let's have another go. Stuck at it, the front end of the bike has bounced all over the place. But fair play to him, Jack Smith held on, got 2 points, and done his best to keep Ipswich in the game. But you can see what it means to Lemo there.
Indeed it does. 10 points is the difference now. That's an encouraging result for the Belle Vue Aces, and we're moving along swiftly now with riders out for heat number 9 as they move towards the tapes. Heat 9, the line-up for you. Dan Bewley on the inside in white. Erik Rissader, gate number 2 in blue. Norick Blödorn, gate number 3 in yellow, and off the outside with the red helmet colour on is Danny King. King doing a good job tonight. He's unbeaten by an opponent so far. 5 paid 6. Terrific stuff from the big guns from the home team so far. All 3 of them, King, Sayfutdinov and Harris, unbeaten by a Belle Vue Ace this evening so far. Can it change now with Dan Bewley going from the inside gate? Chris Louis just looking, quite know whether he's pensive or he's just fairly relaxed, but nonetheless, his team are going along nicely. But there's no doubt that the Belle Vue Aces are made of stern stuff. They will keep battling right through to try and keep it as tight as they possibly can here this evening. Riders doing plenty of work on the start line. Track's just being, ruts are beginning to appear now. You want to get the right place. So important to find that right spot to get away sharpish. Erik Ritchie also coming to the fore last time with a terrific ring. He looked absolutely overjoyed as a consequence. Bewley on the inside gate, going off a fresh bit of dirt there. Let's see if that works out for him. Here we go then, heat number 9. Tapes are up now, away they go. Bewley's made a smashing start. He fires himself to the front now. King round the outside, can he get there? Yes he can. Wow, that move has worked a treat for him. Came on strong, Bewley just spinning up on the inside. Now he's chasing hard after Danny King. Erik Ritchie back in third with Norick Blödorn out the back. But the Ipswich Witches are really determined. And look at King go, flying away out in front. And Dan Bewley at this stage has no answers to him. Erik Ritchie there pulling a big locker. 2 Germans in third and fourth, having a real battle for the minor placings. But King out in front, the captain of the Ipswich Witches, certainly doing a captain's role here in heat number 9. Bewley having no answers for him. And stretched away. Look at King go. He's using the dirt. Bewley is not. Bewley's not searching for the grip on the outsides. Looks a little tentative to go there. But this is going to put the lead back to 12 points. King, stunning ride from him, remains unbeaten by an opponent. And Erik Ritchie coming through in third place. So it's another 4-2. Home team clearly very determined mood here this evening, and their 12-point lead is now returned. They move on to 33 points to 21. And for Danny King, as I say, he's had 2 race victories and a paid win as well. He's doing the business here this evening. Top form from the captain. Danny King out in front, 3 points. Dan Bewley back in second place, 2 points for him. Erik Ritchie in third, 1 point for him. And Norick Blödorn failing to score. He's missed out on the last 3 occasions, Norick Blödorn. And Scotty, Danny King, he's using that line round that first corner because Bewley was away well here, but that grip on the outside worked a treat for him.
He really did. Dan Bewley makes a brilliant start for the inside, but Danny King knows his track very well, loves to be in that dirt on the outside. Alexa goes straight for it, doesn't even try to shut the door on Dan Bewley. And that was the thing, and you called it in the commentary, Kel, Dan Bewley not opting to ride as wide as Danny King. Danny King was just that little bit wider than Dan Bewley for the entire race, and he streaked away little by little. I mean, look how wide Danny is. You can see the change in the colour of the dirt. It's a lot darker on the outside. That means there's more grip out there, more traction, and Danny King took full advantage of it.
He did indeed, and it's surprising because Dan Bewley is such an accomplished rider. I fancied that he may have just allowed the bike to run out in that first corner after such a good start, but he elected not to do so.
No, he didn't, and Danny King can see him out in the high, wide dirt there, just romps away, and man, the moment's down with Abby.
Yeah, an absolute captain's performance from you tonight, Danny, but the team 1 to 7 all going well.
Yeah, so far so good. We need to keep it going. We know how good they are. But yeah, we got off to a great start.
Has it surprised you that you've got a 12-point lead when we know that you're without Jason Dawn? Had that affected any kind of morale in the camp?
Certainly not morale, but we was aware of the situation. It's very difficult to replace, certainly around Foxhall, but Bomber's come in and so far doing a fantastic job. You know, Bomber always steps up to the plate. So, yeah, so far so good. Just keep it going. Well, thank you.
So, good to hear from Danny. Great to catch up with him. Great to get all the information straight away, isn't it? Just off the bike, just the adrenaline surging through the veins and getting that instant reaction. That's what it's all about. Heat number 10. Emil Sayfutdinov out. Crikey, alarm bells ringing for the Belle Vue Aces. He's unbeaten so far from his 2 rides. Jaimon Lidsey, though, was a much improved rider in heat number 8, and he's got number 3, gate number 3. He'll be looking to produce something from there. Up for heat number 10. Tom Brennan will go from the inside in yellow. Gate number 2 in blue is Danyon Hume. Jaimon Lidsey will go from gate number 3 in white, and then we'll Sayfutdinov off the outside in the red helmet colour. The dirt on the outside is working. Sayfutdinov will not be shy to use it, if at all possible. Lidsey's a sharp starter. This could be tear up here, but if Sayfutdinov gets his nose in front, he is a very difficult man to peg back. Tom Brennan had a very good ride earlier on this evening, but then subsequently has found points tough to come by. Just 1 point in his last 2 rides. A strong showing in his first ride with 2 points. 12 points up, the home team. Going along very nicely indeed. What can the Aces produce now? Heat number 10. It's just taking their time to come forward. Brennan there on the inside. Lidsey, as I say, is a good starter, but he's got arguably the best rider in the world alongside him. He is absolutely dominant. Certainly in the UK has been outstanding this season. Here we go then, heat number 10. Green lights on, tapes on. What a start from Sayfutdinov. Absolutely masterclass, nails it. Brennan's through there on the inside, round the outside. Certainly at the back, Lidsey once again has been relegated with Hume now coming charging around the outside. He's pushing on in third place. Can he get to second place? Big effort from him. Got to say Sayfutdinov is cleared off already. It's about the minor placings here already. Half the length of the straight in front by the conclusion of the first lap. That's how fast Sayfutdinov is. Second place is for Tom Brennan. Danyon Hume there in third place. This is going to stretch it to a 14-point lead at the end of heat 10 if it stays this way with Lidsey at the back. Sayfutdinov in a class of his own once again. Fires himself into the last lap. Tom Brennan riding solidly back in second place. Hume with that vital third to make it a 4-2 and a heat advantage for the Ipswich Witches. Here comes Sayfutdinov, flying out in front. Smashing ride, 3 rides and 3 wins for him. And starts like that, there's no way you're going to peg him back. Brilliant stuff from him. Danyon Hume hanging on as well in third place. Shame there, disappointment for Jaimon Lidsey there, failing to score, just didn't get away as well as he would have liked. Probably taken complete surprise by the fact that that man made such a stunning effort from the outside gate. So the result for you of heat number 10, Emil Sayfutdinov out in front, 3 points for him. Second place is Tom Brennan, 2 points. Danyon Hume back in third place, 1 point, and Jaimon Lidsey misses out in heat number 10. And Scotty Nichols, Emil Sayfutdinov in a class of his own. And that start from gate number 4, I thought for a moment he anticipated that one.
Oh, God. Oh, man, that was just bang on. Jaimon Lidsey's caught cold, he went past him so quick. That was ridiculous. But Emil Sayfutdinov, look at it, the reaction is bang on. There's no anticipation there. And I have to say, Kelv, I really thought Jaimon Lidsey was going to be up for the fight in this one after he had a much more productive race last time. He attacked the track, but he got stuck at the back in that first turn. I mean, look at Emil Sayfutdinov. He's already a good 4 bike lengths in front at this stage, and fair play to Danyon Hume having a good go on the outside. Couldn't quite overhaul Tom Brennan, but the Witches extend their lead again, and that man there has absolutely been sublime tonight. He has been in a class of his own. Top draw Speedway from Emil Sayfutdinov. Chris Louis delighted with his performance once again, and 37 points to 23 after the completion of 10 races is very satisfactory for the home team. And I think as well, Kelvin, that outside line is going to start to become even more constructive because it's starting to get cold now. A few of the boys, you can see their goggles are steaming up at the start line. That inside looks like it's starting to get a little bit greasy. I saw Erik in that last race spinning up a lot on the inside. So line choice is going to be quite key now, Kel.
Yeah, absolutely right. So surprised when Dan Bewley did not elect to go for the dirt. We do have a change here. I'll bring it to you once I'm informed. Looks like it might well be Connor Bailey coming out here for the rider replacement ride for Charles Wright. Chris House out again, he's unbeaten so far. Keynan Rue joins him. Brady Kurtz is the danger man, you would suggest, for the Belle Vue Aces. We're on board with Keynan Rue, as we have been throughout the evening, so we'll hopefully get some good shots from him. Ball is just coming up to the start line now. It's a tough night for the Aces here. No question about that. Line up for heat number 11. Chris Harris off the inside in red. Brady Kurtz off at gate number 2 in white. Keynan Rue will go from gate number 3 in blue. And Connor Bailey is the rider replacement for heat number 11 in the yellow helmet colour. Connor has been very much part and parcel of the action. Picked up a couple of points so far this evening. Needs to keep doing so. Kurtz needs to get to the front here. Harris is not an easy man to beat tonight. He's been looking imperious. He's been terrific so far this evening. Mark Lemon and Dan Bewley, concern on their faces, rightly so. Hasn't been the night they have been looking for so far. Harris is quite a remarkable man, you know. He's riding all over Europe in just recent days, riding on a 1,000-metre track down in Bavaria at the weekend, flying back to the UK, here at Foxhall, doing the business in the first semi-final of the playoffs for Jason Doyle. Big responsibility, and is doing a great job so far. Here we go then, heat number 11. Green lights on, tapes are up now. Oh, Harris is lifted dreadfully on the inside there. Brady Kurtz made a super start. Round the outside there is Keynan, so it's a 3-all at this stage. And out the back is Connor Bailey. Connor Bailey coming in for Charles Wright. Brady Kurtz, terrific start, but this time Chris Harris just made a bit of a pig's ear at the start, lifted violently on the start line, but it's no real damage done. We're on board here with Keynan following him through. He's in second place. Brady Kurtz is out in front, but he could do with his teammate amongst the points, and at this stage he's unfortunately tailed off at the back. So a 3-all to the Ipswich Witches. They'll be more than happy with this to maintain their lead in the opening semi-final. Here we go into the last lap. Kurtz looking good out in front. Certainly much more confident on the bike this time, looking over his shoulder down the back straight, where you'll see Keynan, his compatriot, Australian. Rue. Kurtz wins his first race of the evening. More like it from him. He'll be pleased with that. Connor Bailey just missing out there that time. But as I say, apart from the fact that Chris Harris made a poor start there, no real damage done for the home team. He picks up a 3rd place. So Brady Kurtz making his way back. He'll have heat 13 to look forward to as well. He'll be looking to produce something similar there. The 14-point lead is retained. Brady Kurtz out in front, 3 points for him. Keynan back in second place, 2 points. Chris Harris, 1 point in third. Connor Bailey misses out in heat number 11. And Scott, well, it was an awful start from Chris Harris, but a smashing start from Brady Kurtz. But they need heat advantages. 3-alls will do the home team nicely.
Exactly, Kelvin, they do. I mean, Chris Harris wasn't watching Emil start there. He actually messed it up big time, but he still managed to get back in the game. So like you said, Kel, 3 points is enough for the Witches. You know, they're not losing any ground to the Aces, but much more improved ride for Brady Kurtz there. And Kel, that just goes to show me as well that the fact that once you get clear track, you can ride where you want to be. With Chris Harris, we know what a racer he is, but I know he'd settled into 3rd place, to be fair to him, but the track conditions are a little bit tricky. Look how much the bike is bouncing around out there. Brady Kurtz doing well to manhandle the bike, but conditions are not easy.
No, they are challenging, that's for sure, but the home team are coping slightly better than the Belle Vue Aces, but they're going along very nicely, the home team. Okay, right, let's get down to Abby now.
Thank you, Calv. I'm going to try and get a word with... Tough meeting for Belle Vue, 14 points down. Trick caught you guys out. What's been the problem?
Yeah, you know, it's a good home track advantage they've got, but we're fighting away and trying to claw a few points back.
And for you, Dan, it's an incredibly busy part of the season, multiple playoffs. Keeping the motivation up?
Yeah, 100%. This is what we fight for, to get to these meetings, so here's where it counts. So try and score some points now.
Score some points. Dan, thank you so much. We're going for a quick break. When we come back, it will be Heat 12. Remember that hashtag, it's IpsBell. Get your thoughts and questions, and I'll ask Scott Nichols later in the programme. Welcome back to Foxhall Stadium. With 4 heats remaining, the Witches have a 14-point advantage. Score as it stands, 40-26. Before we resume with the action here, though, at Foxhall, let's go to Scotty for his pearls of wisdom.
I'm not sure about pearls of wisdom, but Abby, but this is a close-up of Emil Sayfutdinov's start in Heat 10, an amazing start. What I want you guys to focus on is his fingers and his throttle hand. I'm just going to go through little freeze frames. Now, the intricacy movements in his fingers at the start. This is his start. Just look at his fingers. They're just gently feeding the clutch. Just find that biting point and bang. Look at that. The throttle hand and the clutch all in synergy. And you can see the tapes here have literally only just passed his mudguard. That is an unbelievable start, unbelievable reaction to Kelv. I wish I could make starts like that all day long.
Makes life a lot easier, Scott, that's for sure, when you can drop the clutch
does.
bang on like that. And he can hit the front and get the fresh air. And it was a fabulous start from Emil Sayfutdinov. And on the replays, as you rightly pointed out, he did not move before they moved. So a perfect start from Emil Sayfutdinov, a masterclass in truth in heat number 10. Riders coming out now, 14-point lead to the home team. Massive performance from them so far. No Jason Doyle, but they've made light of that this evening. And they've gone about their business in a very professional attitude, terrific confidence oozing through the team. And they have attack conditions and have looked very accomplished indeed. 4 races to go this evening for the Belle Vue Aces to try and close back in. Can they get it back to 10? That's what they would hope for, I would suggest. Right now, the home team in control. Heat number 12, the lineup for you. Danny King off the inside in the red helmet colour. What a night he's enjoying. Riding out of his skin tonight. Norick Blödorn, gate number 2 in yellow. Gate number 3 in blue is Keynan coming in here to replace Jack Smith. And Jaimon Lidsey will go from the outside in the white helmet colour. It's been an up and down night for Jaimon Lidsey. One heat on number 8 nicely. Had a second place prior to that, but he's had 2 last places either side in his first and his last outing. So if he hits the front, you sense that he'll be a tough man to beat, but it's not easy from gate number 4, unless you are Emil Sayfutdinov, of course, and he can win a race from anywhere. But nonetheless, gate 4 is a bit of a challenge. Danny King on the inside gate here. I say it's been a tough night for Norick Blödorn as well. He won his first ride, really looked very accomplished indeed. Since then hasn't scored a point in his next 3 outings. Has to do something about that if they're going to do anything about this 14-point deficit that they have right now after 11 heats in the first leg here at Ipswich. So here we go. Keynan is out again. Got a camera on him. We're away. Terrific start from the outside from Lidsey. Smashing stuff from him. He fired himself off that first corner as well. He forced wide. The dirt kicked him off there. Smashing stuff from him. And unfortunately for him, Norick Blödorn is stuck at the back. Tight between the 2 Ipswich boys with Keynan coming up the inside of Danny King. Now King round the outside. He comes back into second place. Not really enough for the Aces. It's a much more encouraging ride here from Jaimon Lidsey, but they need heat advantages. Right now, a 3-all is not really enough for them. It keeps it to 14. Could be worse, of course, but they would be looking for a touch more. Here we go then, Jaimon Lidsey, looking like he's going to win another race this evening. This will be his second heat victory. Terrific start from gate number 4. Really did do the business from there. The Ipswich boys just tripped themselves up a little bit early in the race. But now as we come out of the last corner, Lidsey wins it. With a 3-all, and the Ipswich Witches march on once again. Just 3 heats remaining, 14-point lead, just what they would be looking for. So they move on to 43 points now, the home team. And Danny King, beaten for the first time this evening, but as I say, no real damage done. Keynan are on board with there, just making his way back round to the pit area. Jaimon Lidsey has won another race tonight. They've only had 4 race wins tonight out of 12. That's not really what they were looking for. And of course, they haven't been able to really work together either as a pair when they've been out there. Last race was a clear indication of that. Heat number 12, the result. Jaimon Lidsey out in front, 3 points. Danny King back in second place, 2 points for him. Keynan third place, 1 point. And Norick Blödorn fails to score in heat number 12. And Scott, Jaimon Lidsey makes a smashing start. He must have watched that bit of analysis you did there, because he absolutely nailed it, didn't he?
I think we all need to take a look at that analysis. But he's, whatever happens, he made a ripper of a start. But unlike Emil's just, his front wheel is just on the ground. Jaimon gets maximum traction straight away. And at first I thought he'd got himself in a bit of a pickle there and gone a little bit too wide. But he has a sneaky look over his shoulder. You can see there's not a big threat, and he goes in. But even though he's attacked it, he's still there going in the corners, that little bit more tentative than the Witches boys, I believe. But Danny King and Keynan is good on board here. They got a little bit closer comfort there. Rubbin's racing, but that's your teammate, mate. You want to let him go.
Indeed, I thought they were going to trip each other up, but fortunately they worked it out.
Yeah, they did, and you know, Keynan been, Jaimon Lidsey's been a kind of bit hot cold tonight. He's when he's got in front, he's looked like a world beater and checked out, but you know, that tells me that the track, when you're behind, it is quite heavy on the outside and makes racing a little bit difficult. But only a 3-all for the Aces, not enough.
Not quite enough, that's right. Massive race now, heat 13, always a big race on any evening, anywhere. But right now for the Belle Vue Aces with Kurtz and Bewley, can they do anything about Sayfutdinov and Harris? Fabulous lineup for you, really is. And at this stage of the evening for the Belle Vue Aces, it's just about damage limitation. 14 points behind. They really need to do something about that. I'm sure they'll still think they've got a chance at home. Of course they have. They are mighty round the National Speedway Stadium. But nonetheless, 14 points behind with 15 races remaining after tonight. It is a tall order. They will have to get off to a flying start on Monday and put the pressure back on the Witches. What a lineup. We haven't seen the best of Bewley this evening. Will we see it now? In heat number 13, Sayfutdinov, unbeaten from his 3 outings so far. Brilliant performance from him so far. Heat number 13, the lineup. What a race it is. Brady Kurtz off the inside in the white helmet colour. Gate number 2 in red is Emil Sayfutdinov. Dan Bewley will come out of gate number 3 in yellow, and off the outside is Chris Harris in blue. You can see Harris, you can just picture it in your mind, roaring round the air fence in that first turn. Can Bewley do anything about that from gate number 3? We'll need to, because Harris won't be shy. Massive moment in the context of the outcome. I know we're not at the midway point yet, and there's 15 heats to come, but this has been a terrific performance from the Ipswich Witches. As I say, for so long it looked very unlikely that they'd even be in the playoffs. Looked like the Leicester Lions were going to secure that, but they slipped up. Peterborough doing a massive favour for the Ipswich Witches right at the death, right at the conclusion of the main season prior to the playoffs getting underway. Just coming through by the skin of their teeth, and they're making the most of the opportunity so far this evening. So riders just taking their time. Bewley coming forward now on gate number 3. Can he produce something stunning? He's capable. Here we go then, heat number 13. Don't you take your eyes off this one. And they go roaring into the first corner, and again Emil Sayfutdinov has the time to look over his right. Oh, look at Harris! Harris comes roaring through as well. What a ride from him, and Kurtz and Bewley are at the back here. Got to say that it was tight between Kurtz and Chris Harris. Now Kurtz once again up the inside. Sayfutdinov is out in front. He's comfortable. Harris has done the business. Once again coming through into second place. And this is devastating now for the Belle Vue Aces. What a night it is for the Ipswich Witches. Heat 13, such a lineup. And Kurtz and Bewley in 3rd and 4th, with Sayfutdinov going to go through onto 12 points and remain unbeaten. A lap to go in heat 13, going the way of the Ipswich Witches. This is going to be their 3rd 5-1 of the evening, and Harris coming in as a guest has done a terrific job here. He's only dropped a couple of points in his 4 outings, and the Ipswich Witches fans are on their feet, delighted with that, and rightly so. What a night they're enjoying. They had extraordinary scenes here last Thursday when they beat Sheffield Tigers in the Knockout Cup final, and once again here the applause and cheers roar round Foxhall Heath in the first leg of the semi-final. Big 5-1 for the Ipswich Witches, and their lead extends. It is an 18-point lead. Remarkable night for the Witches up against the champions. I remind you, the Belle Vue Aces are the champions of Britain from last year. Great speedway once again in heat 13 by the home team. Result for you. And what a result it is for the Witches. Sayfutdinov unbeaten, 3 points for him. Chris Harris coming through in second place, 2 points. Brady Kurtz back in third, 1 point for him. And Dan Bewley misses out in heat 13. 48 points to 30, Scotty. You just could not have seen this coming. But smashing Speedway once again from the home team. And Sayfutdinov, he just can't put a foot wrong.
Oh, he's just sensational, isn't he, Kelvin? Look at that. He's had a look for Bomber before he's in the turn. I mean, that's one, a fantastic team rider, but also a rider that's just high on confidence. Chris Harris snuck round outside of Brady Kurtz. I thought it was possibly a little bit tighter from the other end, but still, nonetheless, a brave move. Look at Bomber. You called it. You said he was going to be out in that dirt, Kelvin. He did just that.
Yeah. Absolutely no surprise to see it, but you've got to say that with Bewley and Kurtz in the race, you would have fancied that this would have been a little bit more of a tough ask for the home team. But right now, with Sayfutdinov and Harris doing a fine job, 18-point lead, they are in the driving seat, aren't they?
Oh, they certainly are. I wouldn't have thought that. I mean, I was literally going to say before this was really their big chance to try and claw some points back. And it wasn't to be, but I believe Abby's got somebody to have a little chat to.
Yeah, I'm with Chris, but brilliantly, we have got a monitor right by us, and you were watching that last heat. So was that all the plan all along, just go out the side, then come back in?
Yeah, well, I knew it'd be tough for them three on the inside of me, and yeah, I knew I was going to go straight for the dirt. And, you know, to be fair, Emil looked going into the corner and seen I was sort of there, but not far enough to sort of be in his way. So he went to get to the dirt, and off he went. And yeah, I had a good run. Brady left us enough room to get by him. Yeah, I had to work the socks off to keep it in front.
What is it like having Emil as your teammate? Because there was a bit of brilliant team riding from him then, and he looked over and made sure you were there.
Yeah, well, he's a world-class rider, so, you know, his awareness of where people is on the track is fantastic. And, you know, from watching him this season, when I've been against him, he looks like a good team man. And being in the team with him tonight, he's always helping around. So, you know, and he's a great guy as well.
Romo, if there's any pressure that you come in as a guest, you don't look like you're having any of it on your shoulders.
No, I don't really suffer with pressure. So I've got big boots to fill with JD, so we wish him well. But, yeah, we'll keep battling away for the Witches.
Well, you're filling them well. Thank you, Bomber. Let's head over to Scott.
Thanks, Abby. Yeah, I'm back at the screen again. I think Kelv may have a little chat with him in a second. But no, we're just looking at that start again, Kelv. Just look at Emil's fingers. Just he's in so at one with the feel of the bike and the reaction. I'm just freeze framing it here. Just boom, any second he's just going to go, and I'll let it run naturally. Bang, there he goes. Off we go. And he's into the first turn. We're barely into the first turn, Kelvin. Look at that. He's already having a look over his shoulder in the first turn, Kelvin. I mean, that's unbelievable. Bomber's not even in sight, but he knows where Bomber's going to be. And like Bomber said there in his interview with Abby, that Brady left him room. But nonetheless, that was a brave move, Kelvin, and a big 5-1 for the Witches.
Indeed it was, and that was just another demonstration, an action replay of the start he did off of gate number 4. Ideal. And
it's just when you're in that
being
place,
able to repeat it, isn't he, Scott? He's just, when you can repeat that and the confidence is there, he's just producing it. The bike setup is perfect, but he's just producing it time after time.
Of course, Kelvin, we hear in Grand Prix banging on about setup all the time, but the pilot has to do the work, and you can see that he really is at one with the bike. I mean, that was a carbon copy replay of that start from gate 4.
I actually thought it was the one, and then I realised he was looking to the left, not to the right.
So did I. I was like, Kev, have you sent me the right replay? It looks exactly the same.
Exactly, but nonetheless, it's producing the goods, and the man is on fire right now. Emil Sayfutdinov, a class of his own here this evening, backed up admirably by Chris Harris in heat number 13. 2 races to go tonight, 14 and 15. Riders coming forward for heat number 14 now. It's damage limitation now for the Belle Vue Aces, 18 points back, 48 points to 30. And heat number 14, the lineup is Keynan Rue off the inside in the blue helmet colour. Tom Brennan out of gate number 2 in white. Erik Riss, gate number 3 in red, and Connor Bailey off the outside in yellow. Got to say, it doesn't get any easier for the Belle Vue Aces here. You could see on paper, at least, the Ipswich Witches extending their lead once again here. Rue's in good form tonight. Erik Riss has won races tonight, so it's looking good for them. Tom Brennan will have to produce something pretty special here if they are just to keep it to 18, you would suggest. It's a tall order for young Connor Bailey off the outside. It's gone well for the Ipswich Witches. As I say, we are only getting to the midway point. It could be very different on Monday, of course, but nonetheless, this is a very, very healthy lead for the Witches here at home tonight. riders just taking their time. Connor Bailey coming in, big night for him. He's tried his very best. He's picked up a couple of points. He's been competitive. He's certainly been trying his socks off. Here we go then. Heat number 14 into the first corner, and Tom Brennan's made a smashing start out of gate number 2. He's vulnerable to the move on the outside. He just about hangs on there with Keynan there coming through on the inside of Erik Riss. Erik Riss forced a little wider than he really wanted to. Keynan now searching for the grip on the outside, but Brennan is there. Rue just lifting a couple of times there, just killed his momentum. Coming off a turn 2 for the second lap. It is a little greasy there, a little bit choppy as well. Not easy, but Brennan out in front. Connor Bailey, unfortunately for him, is not amongst the points. Will be 18 points retained here by the Ipswich Witches if it remains like this. Brennan out in front, being chased hard by Keynan who hasn't thrown the towel in. He wants to try and keep the pressure on Brennan in front, but Brennan's got it. One last corner to go for the young Englishman, and he comes through nicely. That was a good ride from Brennan. Looked good there, good start, good 4 laps. So 3 points for him, and it's a 3-all. The Ipswich Witches into the 50 bracket now, 51 points to 33. So the result of heat number 14 for you. Brennan out in front, 3 points for him. Keynan back in second place, 2 points. Erik Riss, third place for him, 1 point. And Connor Bailey misses out. Heat number 14. Nice ride from Tom Brennan. He'll be hoping, he'll be wishing actually, Scotty, that the evening was starting now, because this was much more like it from him.
It certainly was. He had to muscle his way to that first turn, does just enough to get across Keynan from there. And like you said in that first run of the Kelv, that he was under pressure there from the Witches boys and was almost vulnerable to Erik Riss, but Erik Riss elects to cut back to the inside. If Erik Riss had possibly let the bike run there into that dirt, he may have had a better chance of going around the outside of Tom Brennan, but he has a look over his shoulder. He knows that 3 points is good enough for the Witches. Again, a race win for the Aces, but they don't capitalise. No last places for the Witches. Great on board here. You can just see how close it was to Tom Brennan. But yeah, a great lead for the Witches. Tom Brennan there out front, looking good. A nice race win for him. But again, repeating myself, but not enough for the Aces. Down to you, Abby.
Scotty, thank you. So just a reminder of the hashtag. It's IpsBell. I'm going to run over to Scott Nichols and ask him all of your questions. So any further thoughts, any further opinions, use the hashtag IpsBell. We've got big Heat 15 coming up next. Okay, so this is the point in the night where I ask Scott your questions. Do you know what I've done this time,
Welcome
Scott?
to my office.
It's nice and warm in here.
No.
I've taken photos of them because I found the multitasking of scrolling through X at the same time as listening to you asking questions just all too much. Okay, first question from Richard Felgett. Do riders save setups for each track they visit?
In terms of data, yeah, 100%. Well, the smart ones do. Otherwise, you don't know if you've gone wrong or
Do
whether
you?
it's been good. Sometimes. I'm not that smart. No, most riders do, yeah.
Okay, okay, this is from, this is nice, Steve B. Scotty, how much do you miss racing? What's for the future?
Do you know what? I've got a great balance right now. I'm able to work with you guys. Love working. I love working with you guys. It's brilliant. And I'm still racing, obviously, with Oxford. So I've kind of got the best of both at the minute. The future, who knows? I'm not smart enough to make setup changes, so who knows?
Okay, this is. Let's get back to business. Do you think a slick track will help Belle Vue on Monday?
Do you know what? I think the Belle Vue boys are good at home, whatever the track is, whether it's slick or grippy. But, I mean, I have to say, I'll be honest, I didn't think Ipswich should have an 18-point lead right now.
No way.
I think they may have their work cut out, because if Doyley comes... I mean, Bomber's done a fantastic job tonight. But when you look down the rider or the rider for rider, they're going to miss Charles Wright Monday.
Yeah. Okay, Trevor Allen Bell. This is an interesting question. Shouldn't the team that wins the league be given a shield in recognition of that, even though the champions come out of the playoffs?
100%. I think you should get some sort of acknowledgement for being the most consistent and the best team over the league. And then obviously this is exciting for TV, but I think you should get some sort of reward for being the best team over the league.
Keep chatting, Scotty. I'm going to go back.
All right, well, I'm not smart.
Okay,
go on.
No, this is Ian Roberts. It's like he's just heard you, or you've heard Ian. On this track, in these conditions, Charles Wright is a massive miss.
Yeah, definitely. So here and at home, I mean, Charles is having a great season, and at Belle Vue, he would certainly come to his own. I think they're going to struggle to cover him. But here tonight, Charles would have revelled in these conditions. I think the boys have done their best, of course have, but I think Charles would have done a better job.
Scotty, thank you.
No worries.
You should put yourself down. You're very smart. Let's get back on with the action here in Foxhall. Welcome back to Foxhall. We have one heat remaining, and Witches have a massive 18-point advantage as we approach the midway point. Just a reminder of all the sport that is available for your viewing. We have tennis, the Labour Cup from Vancouver, and you can watch that on Eurosport 1 tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Premier League, Burnley versus Man United, that's TNT Sports 1 Saturday at 7. And then Boxing Fight Night, Joe Joyce versus Shang 2, and also on TNT Sports 2, also Saturday at 7:30. Let's join Scott Nichols now. He's with the team managers.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. It's managers, riders, choice and gate choice. We're going to come to Mark Lemon first. Mark, tough night for you boys. Obviously, clearly missing Charles Wright tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that rider replacement in your second string hurts any team. Obviously, Ipswich obviously had the effects early in the season and a few other teams. And, injuries around playoffs are never ideal, and it's how you cover it. But we haven't adequately covered it tonight. It was always a worry and a risk, but we're at the halfway stage, or not quite at the halfway stage, and but there's still a lot to play for. But Ipswich have been really good tonight.
Conditions were a little bit tricky. Do you think that kind of went against you boys? I've got to be honest, a few of them looked a bit too tentative early doors.
Yeah, I think we won the coin toss, and that was kind of pretty cool to choose heat 15. But then when that rain came, that would have changed our decision-making process. But we weren't to know, so it kind of we're on the back foot a little bit with the gate selections. But Ipswich, you got to take credit, give credit where credit's due. Ipswich have been on good form, but our boys have obviously left themselves a job to do at the National Speedway Stadium on Monday. I may need to be sound corrected, but I think you've got gate choice for heat 15. Am I right or wrong? Yeah, we have.
Yeah, you have, mate. So now I'm going to put you on the spot.
We're going to go with gates 2 and 4, and we're going to have Brady, Kurtz in white, and Jaimon, Lidsey off yellow in gate 4.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Ritchie, got to be honest, mate. I really didn't think you're going to pull an 18-point lead tonight. We knew Chris Harris would come in and do a great job for Doyley, but I think the team have exceeded above what you expect tonight, surely.
Yeah, we're getting better. We keep getting better. Good night, but we've got 16 heats left, and that's going to be 16 tough heats, so we're going to need to keep pushing because Monday night's going to be very tough at Belle Vue. We know how good Belle Vue are around their track, so good lead, but we may well need that.
Oh, 100%. We know Belle Vue is strong at home, but I've got to be honest, you probably didn't expect to be taking potentially an 18 or more lead there.
I know with tricky conditions, we're capable. Obviously missing Doyley's a big loss, but Bomber's come in and been brilliant. And I think Jack's done well at reserve. Just been very good number 7. He's come in and done well. So really happy with everyone they fit in the team. And yeah, we just got to keep it rolling on Monday.
Certainly have. We've just heard Mark Lemon's runners and riders. Who are you going out for in heat 15, please?
We're going to have Chris Harris in red and Emil will be off gate 3 in blue.
Thanks, Doc. Good luck, boys. There you have it. So Belle Vue won the toss. They elected for gate 2 and 4 in heat 15. The Witches take 1 and 3. Over to you, Kelv.
Scotty, thank you. So the big heat 15 that remains here at Foxhall, and Belle Vue need the points. Over to you, Kelvin.
They do indeed, Abby. And a big race for the Belle Vue Aces. Can they grab something out of this to reduce the deficit? A 5-1 would be very useful indeed, but it's looking a tall order on the form of the home team so far this evening. They have been terrific tonight. 18 points up coming into heat number 15. Dan Bewley not in heat 15. That in itself is a surprise. Brady Kurtz and Jaimon Lidsey coming out for the champions here of gates 2 and 4. Chris Harris, who's done the business. I'm a little surprised that Harris has gone off the inside gate. It does favour that outside line, but Emil Sayfutdinov has been unbeaten so far and is looking like a very hard man to beat. Can they do anything about the Ipswich Witches, the Belle Vue Aces now? Can they reduce that deficit, give themselves a little bit more encouragement going into Monday night? I'm sure they'll be fired up nonetheless. Line up for heat number 15. Chris Harris is off the inside in the red helmet colour. Gate number 2 in white is Brady. Kurtz looked good last time. Emil Sayfutdinov has looked good every time. He comes out of gate number 3 in blue, and gate number 4 in yellow is Jaimon Lidsey, who made a superb start there last time out of the outside gate in heat number 12. Needs to produce something similar now. If he doesn't, Sayfutdinov will take every encouragement. He won't need much encouragement, I'm sure, to hit the front. Harris has done a fabulous job coming in here this evening and has done the business. He's only dropped 2 points from his 4 outings so far. And he has ridden his socks off, done the Ipswich Witches proud tonight. We fancied that he would revel in these conditions, and so it's proved. But can Kurtz and Lidsey now just restore a little bit of confidence, a bit of faith, and leave here with a heat advantage in heat number 15 and a little bit of encouragement moving into Monday night? Here we go then. Halfway point will be reached at the conclusion of these 4 laps. Here we go, times are up and we're away, and the Aces have made a much better start this time. Definitely Kurtz is there. Here comes Lidsey around the outside, but Sayfutdinov, where did he come from? He came roaring up the inside to get the better of both Harris and Jaimon Lidsey. Harris is at the back, Kurtz away sharply there in the dirt. Sayfutdinov back in second place. 4-2 on the cards for the Belle Vue Aces. Encouragement from there. Can Harris do anything about Jaimon Lidsey? Harris now chopping back to the inside. He's through. Brilliant ride from Harris. Now Lidsey trying to turn back the inside to repay the compliment. Can't do it. Gotta say Kurtz is away. Sayfutdinov looking like he's going to be beaten for the first time this evening, but Harris, that determination, that bulldog spirit, it's going to keep that 18-point lead with a 3-all here in heat number 15. Out of the last corner, Kurtz has ridden strongly there. That's a fine ride from him. And we'll Sayfutdinov back in second place, but a 3-all, and the 18-point lead is retained. What a night for the home team. Crowder absolutely chuffed to bits, rightly so. Smashing ride there. Didn't fancy that Emil Sayfutdinov was going to get beaten this evening, but Kurtz produced a stunning ride there in heat number 15. Brilliant stuff from him, but Jaimon Lidsey there, just, you know, the tenacity of Chris Harris to be able to then just keep charging on, does the business there. What a night it's been for him, coming through there. A 3-all in heat number 15, 54 points to 36. Sets up very nicely for the Ipswich Witches going into Monday night at the halfway stage. A lot of appreciation. Look at that. Fantastic to see so many people here. Really is a terrific atmosphere here at Foxhall Heath tonight. And what a job that man has done. Emil Sayfutdinov has done an outstanding job throughout the whole of the season. And they will be relishing the challenge of going to Manchester on Monday evening, that's for sure. This man has been a revelation in British Speedway this year, really has. Put plenty of bums on seats as well. People have been flocking to watch him ride. And rightly so, it really has been a terrific campaign so far. So the result of heat number 15 is Brady Kurtz out in front, 3 points for him. Emil Sayfutdinov back in second place, 2 points. Chris Harris picks up the third place with a stunning ride once again, and Jaimon Lidsey fails to score in heat 15. Super ride there from Brady Kurtz, Scotty, but that 3-all and that ride by Chris Harris, just retaining the 18-point leads. Well, you know, the Aces tried hard, but they just couldn't break the spirit of the Ipswich Witches.
It was, Kelvin. Again, it was 3 points, a race win for the Aces, but they can't back it up. Jaimon Lidsey was there for a few laps, but you can see Bomber, we know what Bomber's all about. Read that turn perfectly well, comes up the inside. Jaimon has a little look, But straight away he's hesitant. He doesn't want to get in the mix of Bomber. The track looks a little bit tricky, a little bit bumpy in places, but that man out front, Brady Kurtz, a brilliant ride for him, and that'll do his confidence a world of good. There's something quite nice about going away in the last race and ruining someone's maximum in the Kelp.
Yeah, exactly that. He's won a couple of races tonight, but winning heat 15 and beating Emil Sayfutdinov, no easy task, and you're right, he'll be pleased with that, but there's no question that the Belle Vue Aces have got a stiff task on Monday evening to come up with a stunning result there. It's not impossible, of course, but I'm sure they'll be pushing awfully hard for that. But right now, you've got to believe that the Ipswich Witches are in the driving seat. But for now, let's get down to Abby.
Cal, thank you. Ipswich Witches are in the driving seat, is what your co-commentator from SGP just said. What night for you guys?
Yeah, it was really good. You know, I think on a night in slightly difficult conditions, the track actually held up really well, considering the rain we've had and then the rain we had before the start. So, yeah, I think our lads, you know, they're on a roll. They've done well to go 7 out of 8 at the end of the season to force Leicester, you know, to mess up in the end. And then, of course, winning the Cup has just given them a real boost, and they want it more than ever. So, yeah, look, we'll take 18 points against deserved league toppers. No easy task to go there and just to stay within 18 points because they're fantastic around their own track, but, you know, you wouldn't bet against our lot.
The momentum is on your side, Chris, and what a story it would be.
Yeah, it would be cracking. You know, I feel that it's a team that's sort of deserved the success that they're now kind of heading towards, but we haven't been able to put it together through injury, illness and problems we've kind of carried all year long. It's coming good, and they fully deserve it.
Just before we came on camera, I said to Chris, 18 points. He said, I'll take that. Chris, thank you so much. More analysis coming up after this. the halfway point of this semi-final fixture in the playoffs, 54-36, Witches with an 18-point advantage as we head to the National Speedway Stadium next Monday. Before we hear from some of the riders, just a reminder of the cycling that you can enjoy. It includes the Tour of Luxembourg tomorrow, stage 3 at 1:45. Tour of Langkawi is stage 1, Saturday at 7:20, and the European Championship from Drenthe in Netherlands, 12:30 on Saturday, all on Eurosport 1. Let's head over to Scott Nichols now. He's with Keynan.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. Keynan, 18-point lead for the Witches. Excelled tonight.
Yeah, we put in a good performance at home. Obviously, we were meant to have the first leg at Belle Vue on Monday, but we ended up having it here, which I think we've done a good job, and we've put in a very good lead for Belle Vue on Monday. You
certainly have. Track conditions were a little bit tricky tonight. I had a lot of rain, but you boys just seemed to step up. I mean, to me, it looked like the Belle Vue boys are phased. Could you sense that as you kind of went out for your first few races?
Yeah, of course. I've had a lot of rain over here the last few days, which of course made track conditions a little bit different than normal. But yeah, I think all the boys stepped up tonight, and I think we put in a good performance. We've been good since we made the playoffs. I think we've really stepped up, and yeah, I think you can't fault the Belle Vue boys. I think they all tried very hard, but of course I think it was a good home track for us tonight and a little bit different for them, and they struggled a little bit, so it was good for us.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the Belle Vue boys did struggle with their tricky conditions, bearing in mind they've overturned you a couple of times this year. So you guys are the cup winners. How much has that given you boys a lift, and like you just seem to have gotten better and better as the season goes on? Let's face it, this is a time to peak.
Yeah, I think we've come good at the right time, to be honest. Yeah, the cup win, I think, brought us together, and I think everyone's as hungry as ever now to hopefully try to bring home both the trophies this year. So hopefully we can keep pushing on as a team, and hopefully Daw will be back soon and we can have the full team back together.
Let's hope so. You had a solid night tonight. You're a long, long way from home. How important is it to you to have like a good crew around you in the pits and things like that?
Yeah, it's very important to have people that know the British Speedway as it's my first year and can point me in a good direction, which I think I have that as Maciek, and of course Heapsy's been here for many years. So yeah, it's been big help this year having them two in my corner and push me in the right direction, and I think I've gotten a lot better this year throughout the season. So yeah, big thanks to them.
You certainly did. And interesting tonight, you had the onboard on tonight. We got some awesome views from it. Was it? Did it faze you at all having it on?
Nah, it's just kind of when you put your helmet on, you just get on with your job. So no, of course, I'm glad you got a good few angles from that. But yeah, no, it doesn't faze me at all.
Thanks a lot for that, mate. Go well at Belle Vue. You boys got a big lead there, but you're certainly going to need all those points. Thanks for chatting to us.
Cheers,
back to you, Abby.
Scotty, thank you. With Tom Brennan. Tom, you got a good heat win in your last heat, but for Belle Vue, 18-point deficit for the second half of this meeting on Monday.
Yeah, disappointing, I think is kind of our word right now. Belle Vue really want to retain this title, and we worked really, really hard for this. And tonight did not go as planned. There isn't two ways about it. Ipswich were really, really good, and these guys showed obviously why they're in the playoffs. And we just still need to work harder for that second leg.
Lemo said something about the rain that came down 20 minutes before tapes up. You guys walked the track, you had some ideas, and maybe that just threw things.
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of look at our last home meeting here, our last away meeting here, it was actually totally different, and the track kind of naturally progressively differently. So yeah, we kind of come here with kind of one thing in our head, and unfortunately, it really didn't pay out. On a personal level, I kind of managed to turn it around at the end there, which is always good, but unfortunately for the team, it was a pretty dreadful night. But we obviously know that we're not going to be sitting down now lightly, and we're obviously going to be working as hard as we can.
And 18 points down. We know how good you are, though, around that National Speedway Stadium. We know what the supporters are like as well at Belle Vue, and they're like an eighth man. So is that worrying? I know you said disappointing is the word at the moment, but what is that thought going into Monday now?
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully the Aces fans can kind of get behind us because those guys really want to win too. So that's like a massive thing for us. That's a massive boost, and sorry to all the supporters that kind of tuned in tonight and obviously made the trip here because we really didn't want to do it that way. But we still believe in it. This is something that we really want. We obviously want to retain that title, and we're going to be taking it home and giving it their all.
Tom, thank you for chatting to us. Let's head over to Scott now. He's got Tom's captain, Brady Kurtz. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. I won't say what he just said about Emil, but you got one over him. There's nothing better than ruining someone's maximum in heat 15.
Yeah, the last heat was a lot better. A little bit too late, but it's always nice to get a win over Emil. They don't come too often, so I'll definitely take it when I can.
Yeah, we were chatting before. You said track conditions were tricky tonight. I mean, you know, you can't candy coat it. The Witches were the superior team tonight, but it can make it difficult, especially if you're behind.
Yeah, I seen last week they had a lot of success on a heavy track, and they prepared it exactly the same today, and it's worked to their benefit. You know, that's what your home track's supposed to be, and yeah, fair play to them. And they were just better than us tonight. We didn't get stuck in as much as we should have on the tough conditions, and yeah, they got the better of us. But Monday's still coming up. We know how good we are at home, and we can still get it done.
Definitely so, and just from a rider's perspective, so the viewers at home can understand it. You're saying about how tricky it can be with the little ruts appearing, stuff like that. What goes through your mind in that moment?
It's kind of a tough one because there was like a lot of holes and stuff on the inside, a big dirt line out wide, and you kind of in between. Do you take it easy through the holes, or do you go full gas and try and smash through them? And yeah, it's a tricky track, that's for sure.
All the teams have got a WhatsApp group. You've got 18 points to pull back. Yes, you're very, very strong at home. What's going to be the chat between now and Monday?
Let's have them.
Quite simple, let's have them. Well, best of luck, mate. You give it your best, but it's 18 points. We'll look forward to Monday. Thanks for chatting, Brady. Back to you, Abby.
Scott, thank you. Emil, it's been an amazing night for the Witches, but for yourself as well. 14 points, only dropping 1 point. A masterclass in starts as well.
Yeah, it was good, it's meeting for us, and especially, we get a good offer, it's like points, and yeah, we're going like second leg, it's try to win, and then we will see, what can happen, I think we have like closed the final, so it's just amazing, feeling, and then just I hope, it's our goals, which one was before the season, is come true.
But the momentum is on the Witches side, and you've tasted the champagne with the knockout victory last week, and sometimes that just keeps on breeding confidence, doesn't it? How far can the Witches go, do you reckon?
If you're not risky, you never drink the champagne. So, so is that is point to go there. It was stressed a little bit because it's semi and it's important meeting it's in the year, and just I hope it's going like. And just it's like I said, it's all boys did a good job and today, and I hope it's in Monday we can do and also it's like good points, and we get easy final.
Well done tonight, an outstanding performance. Congratulations. Just a that is coming up your way. It includes British Superbikes semi-final, Wolves versus Sheffield next Monday. The World Superbikes are in Aragon for round 10. Eurosport 2 8:30. Motocross World Championship is on Discovery Plus live Saturday at 1 o'clock. And I'm joining Scott Nichols now. What a night. 18 point. The Witches head to National Speedway Stadium. Did we see that?
God, no. I really didn't. I mean, I've got to be honest, we thought Ipswich were going to be doing well to get the win tonight. Conditions, I think, played in their favour, so, maybe a 6 to 8 point lead, but 18, that's a massive mountain for Belle Vue to climb.
And especially, when they had, all the talk around Jason Doyle. Would he be fit tonight? He's going to be fit, hopefully, on Monday. But Chris Harris, just what a guest performance.
I mean, we knew he would. Chris revels in these conditions. He is a 100% racer, and you can't ask for more, and he delivers. So fair play to him. I have to say, I think Belle Vue really, really missed Charles Wright tonight. But they're the cards that are dealt, and fair play to the Witches tonight.
Scotty, thank you. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. The Witches were flying tonight. We head to Belle Vue on Monday. We look forward to seeing you there. And remember, we'll have coverage from the other semi-final taking place between Wolverhampton and Sheffield. See you then.